Okay, what was I gonna find? Welcome, welcome, people! Just making sure everything is functional. Yep, that's good. A little bit of volume there, fix that. We got some fun stuff to talk about. Some stuff that I'm debating on talking about. Some stuff that I'm thinking about we can talk about. Some stuff that we will talk about. But just making sure everyone gets in the chat first. Barely. It's definitely been an interesting week, that's to say the least. I think we can all agree on that. Based on some of the things going on. But I think a lot of the stuff that's happened over the last couple of days is probably going to die out. I did. And I'm probably going to... I probably will do a video at some point. I do want to talk about the UK thing at some point. Because I have a lot to say about it. And the general concerns and everything when it comes to the UK stuff. I kept this tab up for a couple of days because this was posted on the 11th, but it's all escalated, it's all increased, there's more information that's come out and all that kind of stuff, but I could probably pull up some other versions of it. Might just... Let me check. I know Chibi did cover it, but I don't know what Chibi has said. Mainly because I don't really need to check what he said, because I already know pretty much what he knows, plus more. Let me check. I was just watching Chibi. Which vid? Oh, the new one that he did. Ooh. But yeah, I mean, this is something that's definitely been a bit of a hot topic recently, which has been the social media curfew for 16, 17-year-olds are part of the government social media ban. Like, this is something they've been trying to implement for... Like, they've implemented in different ways, right? Like, as Australian government's done it, where it's just like, oh, we ban kids. No, not the new video. Old videos for nostalgia. Okay. Fair enough. But different governments have been trying to implement different sort of like social media bans. And I've stated in my past videos, for example, that it was never going to stop at facial recognition and all those kinds of things. Because I will end up having to do a video on this and go into more detail, and I think Leon even mentioned that he'd be up to talking about this and stuff, and I might do a specific stream at some point, a little bit more of a convenient time for him, where I can set a concrete time in a day where me and him can talk about it, because then I'll need to structure a proper stream and all that, because I've never done a collaborative stream before. But one of the things that I think was obvious was when they started implementing this system, they started putting things into place, it was obviously going to escalate into something much more bigger, where it wasn't just going to be facial based, it was also going to be like, oh, we're going to push digital ID, right? We're going to force you to have to use your ID to do this kind of stuff. Yes, Dharma is just speedrunning his way towards creating a dystopian future. Yeah, he is. And I think that's the biggest concern that I've seen, is that when you look at this whole situation, right, you look at how everything has played out, River, it's happened exactly as I predicted, right? That it would be gradual footsteps. And I've seen so many people die on a hill saying, oh no, this is a good implication. And I understand in theory some people want to say it's a good idea because, you know, let's protect children. And in theory, yeah, it's a great idea. Let's protect children from nefarious things. But as I've always stated, this is not designed to protect children. This is designed to be used as a guilt trip for people to be like, hey, we're protecting children, psych, we're actually using this as a way to create a digital footprint so that anything you say or do can be tracked by the government, so if you question the government, you will be locked up. Like, that's the general idea. And generally people that are much more like the whole government idea are generally the ones that push it. I remember Asmongold talked about it and he was for it, and I'm like, but his way of promoting it and was like forwarding it was like, oh yeah, we should like ban kids from talking and making content on the internet, but they can still consume internet. I'm like, of course you'd say that because you want kids to consume your content so that you don't lose your vast majority of your audience. A bad idea. Parents are lazy. Yeah, parents have become lazy because parents have decided, because they're so busy having to work because they're overtaxed, that they need a government to now take care of them. So now the government needs to tax you more so they can then fund systems to then take care of your kids. And it's like, that's the problem. You're being taxed more so that they can have the money to then take care of your kids. It's like, see how stupid it is. If they just didn't tax you as much, they wouldn't need to take care of your kids because you could take care of them yourself. It's a system designed to incentivize you to want to hand over your kids. And I think it's clear what the intent is when it comes to these kinds of systems. But it's like the only way that you can combat something like this, right, is that you'd have to vote in a government that is against it. And the problem is, once a government has this power, they're less likely to want to give up the power as well. And that's another underlining issue, is that once it's implemented, good luck trying to get rid of it. You'd have to go for you'd have to vote in a government that has a lot of balls, that is willing to make drastic steps to remove something like that. And I think that's the thing. Like, once a government has power, they're less likely to give it up. That being said, as soon as they implemented the first phase of this, instantly there were hackings. Within days, if not weeks, there was multiple hackings going on. Information was sold. It started at black market. It was exactly as I said would happen. I said straight away there would be a black market of personal information being sold on the dark web so that people can commit crimes. People were like, oh, no, this will protect kids and blah, blah, blah. Days. Exactly what I said happened. And yeah, I keep getting told by people, oh, you're just trying to protect, predators. And it's just like, this doesn't stop predators. Not in any capacity does this stop predators. This just simply gives an excuse for governments to push it. So, I think the thing that frustrates me the most is how do you stop this, right? You need a drastic change in government. The UK, I think, is at a point where it's like they're so far gone that it's become a experiment for the rest of the world to watch how fast things can decline when you allow a government to go absolutely insane on policies. That also being said, countries like Australia, New Zealand, etc., and other European countries are trying to implement systems like this, but there's a lot more resistance. I find that the UK people are very much too quick to allow or willing to give up their own freedom. I really do believe that. I think there is too much willingness to give away your freedom in the pursuit of comfort. And I think that's another issue as well, is that the general population has become lazy. People have just become lazy and stupid. UK Civil War, when? I mean, it's not off the table. I don't like predicting things that may or may not happen, but the likelihood that a civil war could happen in the UK is likely, right? There is a chance for it. How vicious would it get? That's the question. Would the military get involved? Which side would the military take, right? Because there is potential talk that the military could turn against the government. And that's where things could get very ugly very quickly. And this is the thing. This is what happens when a government, a structural institution, stays established for too long. Because it's one of the things that I've noticed when you read history books is that governments generally need a hard reset. And when they don't get a hard reset, they become bloated and slower and slower and slower, and they keep implementing more taxes, more policies, and taking more power until something breaks, and then it goes back to a hard reset where the people end up fighting back and destroying everything and then rebuilding it from the ground up. Because every time you vote in someone, they want to take a little bit more power. The UK is basically a slow boiling frog analogy. The people there have been too confident into complacency. Yes. And I think that's the problem. And I think that falls into the whole, people have become lazy. People are willing to sacrifice freedom for comfort because it means that they can live, that idea of being in a simpler lifestyle. Good morning, Sparky. And I think that's the biggest concern, is that, people, it's like technology, right? People are willing to give away their own personal information just for a little bit of comfort when it comes to corporations. And I think we've gotten to a point where people are willing to give away so much freedom for convenience that now you look at things like smart fridges, right? It's like they give you all these fancy gadgets. They're like, oh, your fridge can do this, 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 and this. And it's like, do you really need that though? No. But you want it. But now that you've got it, you've now got a fridge that now is shoving ads on you. And it's like, oh, well, that's annoying. It's like, yeah, well, you chose to give away your own freedom for convenience. I think that's the frustrating part, is that people are so quick to just, like, really irrational. And this is the funny thing. I'm a tech person, right? I have a specialty in cybersecurity, network administrations. I've done my Cisco qualifications. If you know what Cisco means, then you know what Cisco means. It's a more technical term for different qualifications and stuff. But even though I have all these qualifications in technology, I use the most basic shit. Like, I deliberately get devices that do not have any connectivity. Like, I use like an MP3 player still. Because I'd rather be able to just plug my device into a computer, copy, paste my music, and never have it touch the internet. I don't like things touching the internet. Like, you get smart TVs. I don't want when I get a new TV for the lounge room, I don't want a smart TV. I just want the TV to plug in the console and the console work. I don't want it to connect to the internet. I don't need fucking Netflix. I don't need Hulu. I don't need Disney Plus. I just want my goddamn fucking TV to turn on and play my goddamn Switch console. It's like, that's all I want, right? Just play the goddamn console. That's it. I don't need it to tell me the fucking time of the day and when I'm going to get a boner. It's like, no, I don't need you to tell me that. Just do your job. I just want a simple device. I don't like smart devices for this very reason, right? Because you sacrifice freedom, you sacrifice your own privacy for convenience. And it's the same when it comes to government stuff. People just go, oh, well, now I don't have to take care of my kids as much because I'm too busy working, so I'll just get the government to take care of it. And it's like, yeah, how did that work for Americans? You've got bloody kids getting taught 20 different genders. So even over here in Australia, my friend's nephew that I go to karate with, and he's in the car and he talks and he tells me what happens at school, and he's like, oh yeah, I've got someone that apparently identifies as a farm animal, and I'm like, really? You like they identify as a farm animal? And I'm like, I'm just like, I said to him, I'm like, what does it entail? And he's like, oh yeah, they make farm animal noises randomly in class. I'm like, don't they get in trouble for distracting kids? Because that's what would happen when I was in high school, or in primary school, should I say. And he's like, oh no, they just allow it. And I'm like, it's just like, everything's gone crazy. And hello, Mocha, I see you in the chat. So for me, I just think, and I see people defend it, right? I see people defend the digital ID and all the rest, and I'm just like, as much as I get frustrated and I want to just strangle someone when someone defends digital ID, I understand that it comes from a good place in their heart, right? They're like, oh, I want to protect kids. I don't want kids to be harmed and all the rest. And it's like, I get that, but this ain't going to protect kids. It opens up a dark web, because what will happen is kids will do weirder and dumber things to get into the internet, which will lead to a dark web situation. And then when your personal information has been sold on the internet, it adds for more crime. This is not designed to protect people. And this is the thing, when I was doing IT, like the first thing we always learned is don't give up personal information that you don't want made public. Right? I remember in my old English class, my English teacher always used to give this example to people in the classroom, especially the adults. And he'd always say, and I love this saying because it's really good. He said to his class, he said, would you wear a billboard on your chest, right? A billboard on the front and the back stating your address, your phone number, what you eat, what you sleep, who your partner is, like every bit of personal information. Would you wear a billboard, walk around in a shopping complex saying all this personal information? Every single adult in the room said no, they would not do it. And he turned and said, then why do you do it on Facebook? Why do you do it on social media? And they all just looked blankly at him, and they're just like, and they're like, exactly. You don't want to do it in public in a shopping complex, but you're more than happy to do it on social media. And as someone that has a specialty in cybersecurity, some of the games that we used to play at TAFE was trying to find each other on Facebook or on social media through backdoor methods and trying to find out as much personal information, because we always used to try and say that we were really good at hiding our personal information. And we would try and find each other on social media, and we would prank each other. And we found our own lecturers that were teaching us how to protect us from nefarious people. And we could find our lecturers and all their personal information, who their kids were, who their grandparents were, where they lived, everything. Because people post too much personal information on the internet. And thank you for the, Candy Sensei, for the membership. Sorry it took so long. I hate the government so much. I hate unnecessary government. I don't mind government where it's needed, but too much government is too corruptible. And also thank you for the super chat as well. Keep your real life stuff and internet life separate. Yeah, exactly. And that's why there is only between 3 to 5 people in the entire world that know where I live. Other than the government, which obviously the government knows where I live. But people in general, only 5 people know where I live. That's it. And that's just like my close friends. And my, like, what family I still have left. Because, again, if people know, all my family is pretty much dead. I've got, like, one cousin left. So she's the only one that knows where I live. Because she's the only family I have left. So it's like, not many people know where I live. And I kind of like keeping it like that, right? I like keeping my life personal. But I'm very much of a person that's very paranoid about keeping my personal information removed from the internet. Because yeah, I've seen people try to catfish. I've had people try to catfish me before, and it's hilarious seeing them do it. But it works. People get catfished. People get scammed. And this kind of stuff is going to happen way more now, because you're going to have people be willing to give away their personal information to websites. And there's going to be a lot of like fake websites that are going to be fishing for data. A lot of sites that will be fishing for data because people will think, oh, well, this is a site that I have to use. There'll be like a lot of fake social media apps. So they're like, oh, you have to give up your digital ID. That's why I'm just like, this is an absolute nightmare of a situation. There's a lot of people who like the fish tank life. Yeah. I just don't I have trust issues. If no one's noticed from my tweets, I have trust issues for a very good reason. I think I got trust issues about 8 years ago when my ex slept with five guys in a month. And I'm like, yeah, no, I have trust problems now. So I'm just paranoid, generally paranoid. I mean, that's why when I was on Leon's stream, Words of Paradise, his chat was asking about my house and being like, oh, how secure it is. Because I talked about the story where the cops tried to break into my house. And they couldn't break in because the front door is a triple lock system. Which means if you break the front lock, it locks everything else so you can't get into the house. And the cops have tried to break into the house, not because we broke any rules, but because they thought we were in danger and they wanted to come, rescue us, but we just weren't home. And they broke the front door because the lock system was just so secure. And it's made of like stainless steel. So the only way you could get into the house was running a car through the front window, which also has roller shutters on it to stop things from getting... It's just like... It was just funny. And as soon as they heard that, they're like, oh, are you Batman? Because your house is like dead secure. And I'm like, that's the first door. The first door is a stainless steel triple lock system. The second door is a freaking thick piece of wood that has a double deadlock system that you have to like bust open. No one gets into this house unless I let you. I'm a very paranoid person. I don't trust people. Was it a woman that would do it? I don't know what we're referring to there. But yeah, it's... And good morning, Mocha. I think it's morning for you. Be morning for you, night for me, because it's 10 p.m. You got Chibi reviewed? Me? I don't know. I don't know what that refers to. With what's going on in the UK, the George Wells book 1948 has aged very... It has. It has. That's why I'm very much one of those types of tech people that doesn't like using over-the-top tech stuff. Like, for example, originally when I was using my original webcam here, I would face it down. So this one here is the one I used to use. This one here, I would face it down every time I was finished with it, because I don't like having it facing anywhere in the room when I'm not using it. This one has a lens thing, so I can actually just keep it there. I can just do this. And then it just closes it off. So I don't have to worry about covering it up because the lens capture is a manual turn system, which is really handy because I just turn it off every time. I don't leave it open, I just close it. Hey, Tony, 9:53. Yes, my correction. 9:50. It's close enough, Tony. Close enough. Why not unplug it? Just face it down. That's all I do. No need to unplug it if I just face it down. Unless it has like a mic in it, then yeah, you'd want to unplug it. And I mean, another great example is like phones, right? You know, if you've got Facebook or Instagram on there, it tracks everything you say. And even though there's a setting that you can do to turn it off, they still track you. That's why I still remember the one time my mother came into the room many, many years ago when she was still alive. She came into my room, we were talking about pizza. And then I refreshed Facebook and I had like 3 pizza ads. Never had any. But as soon as I said the word pizza, it instantly popped up. Because the phone always tracks. The phone knows everything. And that's the thing, is like there's so much personal information that gets siphoned from us. And they want us to give a direct link to our personal information, right? They want us to give our personal digital ID linked to all of this additional data. That's just a nightmare waiting to happen. Like, the amount of, like, black market data and information that would be sold, it's just, yeah. You owe me a soda candy? Guys trolling already. What about anarchy? In general, I believe in as little government as necessary. Only have government where it's absolutely necessary. Any more than that, yeah. That doesn't mean like I'm full-blown pro-capitalism in the sense like capitalism should be unchecked. No, I think capitalism should be regulated as well to make sure monopolies don't exist and corporation exploitation and all the rest doesn't exist. But it's about balance. And I think when you see a system like this where they're using tech to just control and digital IDs and selfies and all the rest, and they're going to store it all on a server, government isn't going to do their job. I mean, over here in Australia, there was one point where they stored a bunch of data that I never went along with it, but there was like a bunch of personal data for health records. They stored it on a foreign Indian server. It was hacked within a week. Within a week, it was hacked. And everyone was just like, this is a stupid idea. And then I think they ended up having to scrap it. And it was like billions of dollars that they spent to do it, and then it was wasted. The only good monopoly is Steam. My concern about Steam being a monopoly is when Gab's gone, is that going to go down a rabbit hole where it could become more corporatized because Gab's not there to keep it in check? You will go to space to escape capitalism? Hey, I own SpaceX stock now. Full disclosure. I own myself some SpaceX stock now. I'm going to space, Elon. Elon's taking me to space. We're going to space, kids. I actually bought it. When did I buy it? Monday. Monday for me, which would be Sundays for you. No, because it goes based on American stock market. So yeah, it'd be Monday for you. I think it was Monday night for me. I bought the SpaceX stock. I bought it a day late, day kind of later out of the open trade. You and me, but I know, Tony. All right, we're going to the moon, baby. I don't own heaps of it, but I bought a bit. I say not much, but Tony bought less than me, and he's like sitting there going, you bought a lot. And I'm like, I didn't really buy that much. I could have bought more. You need to give Gab immortality? Yes. See, if Gab had immortality, then I'd be like, okay, Steam Monopoly sounds great. But when Gab's gone, what's going to happen? You've been talking about financial advice from Mitsu, haven't you? Been taking... No, I was planning to buy SpaceX stock many, many, many years ago. Because I had heard the rumors, this would be like 5 years ago that Elon was probably going to go public with SpaceX. So I had saved up money for like years, slowly accumulating it, just so I had that extra pool there to kind of rip into, to kind of like, all right, when it's IPOs, I've got it there. I've still got to tell my financial advisor about that. I don't know how he's going to respond to that. I don't think he'll care. I think he'll just be like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. Like, it's my money. I can do whatever I want. I don't think he'll really care. I got to see him in like a month anyway for this tax year, which I've got to do my taxes. I haven't done my taxes in 2 years. Not that the government's complain. They generally complain after 3 years on not me doing my taxes. Reasonable regulation necessary to keep capitalism from converting to corporatization. Yeah, and I agree. Right? As much government as necessarily needed, but not too much. Congratulations on your marriage to Elon. I swear to God, chat. I swear to God. You know what's funny? Speaking of that, actually. Speaking of me getting married, no, not exactly that. I made a tweet, like, the other day, because, like, I don't know if I really want to talk about the Demi drama, right? I'm kind of like at the point where I'm like, I'm getting Demi fatigue, even though she's finally blocked me. Wow. I made a tweet where I was like jaded at like the whole situation. I was like, dude, can we just have like normal, nice girls that are loyal? Like, dude, I'm not picky. I'm not a picky guy, right? Jesus Christ, I'm I'll date most chicks as long as they're loyal and nice. I made a tweet saying that. Dude, did I trigger some people? Like, there were most people just like supported, like, bro, yeah, we'll be there. And then there was some people that like generally triggered. You went mask off for Spiritu. I can't trust you anymore. I hate you. Oh, you're so evil. And I'm like, so me just wanting a chick to be loyal and not an absolute douchebag makes me a mask off monster. And I'm like, what? What? I mean, I do know most of it was Demi's fans reading that, and I knew when I made the tweet, I was like, I probably should delete it because I'm just going to have to deal with Demi's fans complaining. And lo and behold, Demi's fans were the ones getting upset about it. And I'm like, God forbid I don't want to date a chick that's getting railed on stream. But that's a whole different thing. The whole speculation on that. Like, you made so many tweets about Demi. I did. And honestly, I got to the point where I got fatigued over it. I was like, you know what? I kind of really just got like, the problem is I'm very stubborn. When someone comes after me, I get stubborn and I like double down, and then I'm like, I'll take a step back, and then I double down. It's like, I'm terrible. I'm generally terrible. I'm very stubborn. But I thought the whole Demi drama was hilarious. Because it all started because she made a tweet saying she didn't like non-safe for work content, she didn't want porn made of her, and all the rest. And she was like, hey, isn't that a bit hypocritical because you just literally retweeted non-safe for work? And it's like, oh, well, actually, that's not non-safe for work. And I'm like, well, actually, that is non-safe for work. And then it's like, oh, well, actually, I really meant this and that. And that's when people started digging through and they're like, oh, look, you're getting railed on stream. And as I said in my tweet, it's either she's pretending to get railed or she is getting railed, because the sounds make it sound like it. I'm not saying she's definitively getting railed on stream, but you can't deny the sounds sound like it. If you've seen the clips, some of it is really obvious that it sounds like she's getting like she's doing something, right? So I'm like, that's why I made the tweet. I'm like, it's either she's pretending for clips, which I'm like, okay, I get engagement farming, but if you're going to do that, don't complain about people making porn of you. Because if you're going to complain about people making porn of you and then you make content where it makes it look like you're getting railed or doing something weird, then it's like, okay, that's a little bit hypocritical. And that's where it was kind of the speculation of, is it real or is it she pretending? Then she's like, oh, no, it can't be because my boyfriend was streaming at the same time. So they go and look at the boyfriend's perspective and she's screaming in the background. And I'm like, you're making this worse for yourself. Now, there are some clips where it's clear she's not getting... There's one where there's like a light showing and she screams really loud and it sounds like you hear a wet, moist sound. That's not what you think it is. That's actually, if you actually pay attention to her hands and the full clip, she's opening something and she screams to open it. And then it's a moist sound as she opens it. And then she holds it up like this. And then she's doing this with the avatar. And then you hear a clunking sound and then she throws it aside. That one is her eating something, right? There is also one where she's doing this. Someone said it was her moving her mic. And I'm like, that is not how I move my mic. See my mic here? I move it like this. Hand move. I don't gargle. I don't finger my microphone like this. Okay? That's just weird. Right? You don't finger your... I think it was her cat. I think that one was her cat. I think she was patting her cat like under the neck and then it slapped her in the face and then she giggled. But I'm like, she didn't say anything. So it makes it look weird like she's tapping something close to her face. I think that was her cat. Potentially someone came up, had her cat, showed it to her, right? I think some of those are very obvious. The others, on the other hand, where she's sitting there just doing this, like, all right, we're doing this. This is for science. This is what the avatar just kind of looks like this. That's what the avatar looks like to me. It looks like it's doing this. And then randomly, she's just like losing her breath. And then just randomly you hear like I got pants on, so you hear a, like that, right? A soft like skin on skin sound. It's like, okay, that just sounds a little bit sus, okay? A little bit. a little bit sinister, couldn't we add? Right? Tony, I did it just for you, because I know you're going to live with that now. All right? Clippable moment. Doesn't feel the same without the noise. Senpai. Senpai. Yes. Oh, am I doing the eyes too? Like, fuck me. I hate myself. I hate myself. My screen did not consent to that. No, and I didn't consent to it either, but I did it just to fuck with you all. There you go. No. So not exactly like that, but you kind of get the point. Like, the avatar was like moving backwards and forwards. You hear the kind of the breathlessness and all the rest, and I'm just like, okay, it's a little bit stuck. Okay, spoke too soon. Don't ever bait me into doing something stupid on stream, okay, guys? I'll do stupider shit than you can imagine. Now Tony's messaging me. He's like, bro, what the fuck, bro? This is why I'm the greatest content creator of all time, because we do stupid shit. Your food or wife, you saw this and regretted the decision. I regret a lot of things in my life, bro. That's probably the least of my regrets in my life. To be honest, funny story, my friend's nephew hates it when I make anime sounds. So randomly, when we're going back to the car after training, if he's been a smartass, I will randomly moan sexual noises. And everyone finds it funny. He gets so embarrassed. His face goes red. And I will squeak the voice. Like, that wasn't me squeaking because I don't want to break my mic and break your headsets. But I will squeak the voice so it sounds like a woman getting railed. And I'll just be like, senpai? But I'll do it much louder and much more visceral. And oh my god, does he shit him? He's like, stop! And everyone just shits themselves. Because they know I'm trolling the shit out of him. He said food or wife instead of future wife. Oh my god. Fucking fooder again! Fuck you and your food attacks. God damn it, chat. Clippable moment. Channel getting banned. I'll get banned for faking it. Others won't for doing it. Tony's freaking out because you scared his food. Now I get it. You are the new Pirate Software. Yeah, but Pirate Software's retarded. He also has me blocked too, because the last time I made a tweet under one of his tweets and I said, you'll be studied as the greatest crash out of all time. Then he blocked me. Sent you a screenshot. Oh, shit. Oh, my fucking god. I am not. Chat, do we want to see the screenshot? Do we want to see the screenshot? Do we want to see the screenshot? I hate my life. I don't like this world anymore. I hate my life. You know what's funny? Is that I don't know if she's still watching. There was a female VTuber watching, and I'm literally doing sexual stuff on stream. She's probably sitting there thinking, why did I even come to this stream? Safe for work, I don't know at that point. I don't know. That kind of comes under a lot of things. What did I just witness? Yeah, exactly. Saved for later. I just swear to God, if you guys say that you fap to that, I'm gonna fucking ban your asses. Oh. Cinevique? No, thank God she's not here to see that. No, it was another VTuber watching. Tony, you should clip it. Jesus Christ. I'll send it to Leaflet. I don't even think Leaflet likes me. I think Leaflet hates me. If you send that to her, she'll probably will bloody hate me. She'll probably bloody send holy water and be a holy water bomb and be gone, demon. This is a Gooner stream. I mean, I am technically a Gooner, so technically you kind of signed up for this, technically. Get that blackmail. If that's the only blackmail you've got, then you've got weak stuff on me. I've got way better. There's shit that people could find. Leaflet's not that religious. Oh, I remember ages ago she used to talk about hentais that she used to watch, and she was like into some like beast ones. I'm gonna send this to Okko, have him stop associating with you. Dude, Okko already knows that I'm broken. The fact that Okko still collabs with me is a miracle in itself. You don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say Okko knows that I'm already broken. Someone send this to Why Powder? Send it to Tectone. He has me blocked. Actually, I have been blocked too. Though, I don't hold grudges. I'd be willing to bury the hatchet if he calls me the greatest gooner of all time. Good times? I know, good times. But yeah, I don't think Leaflet's that religious. No. No, it was the World War II Araga visual novel Leaflet talks about. I just remember it was like, she talked like way back about one of her favorite hentais and stuff, and it was like some beast thing or something. I can't remember. It was like some pretty like normal degen stuff, and I was like, okay, that sounds like normal Gooner material. Our favorite Jewish... I swear to God, chat. Print the screenshot, put it near your cat so your cat sees it as it wakes up. Dude, I have to deal with that cat every bloody morning. I don't need to deal with that cat any more than I need to. Someone send it to Chibi. Okay. Yeah, Leaflet's still kind of the G-Gen. I feel like she kind of hides it a little bit more. Because a lot of her friends are, like, very religious, so she kind of is a little bit less likely to, like, show her Gooner tendencies. I mean, I talked to her friend Celine, Celeste, or whatever. However you pronounce her name, I can't pronounce her name. I talk to her from time to time. But as far as one of her other friends, I don't think me and him get along that particularly well. Though, I'm willing to bury the hatchet on that one too. I don't hold grudges. I'm not really much for holding grudges on people. I do remember her talking about corruption of champions on stream too. Okay. Especially for Powder. What about Powder? What, sending it to Celestial? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think she's Orthodox Christian, if I remember correctly. She's a nice girl. She's sweet. I talk to her from time to time. I mean, I think me and her were going to do a collab at some point about men's mental health, but because I can't be bothered going on her Discord server to work it out, because she's got like a collab Discord server, and I can't be bothered working it out, I'm just like, ugh, I'm too lazy. I'm just the type of person that if you just message me and you're just like, hey, you want to collab? I'll be like, yeah, sure. And then I'll be like, time and place, depending on the person, right? I'm not like too picky. But one of the videos I do want to go over is the Monta Sensei video from 4 days ago. Anime tourists create a new term, heteroslop. I think that's kind of a And it's from another content creator that I reacted to one of his videos where he talks about grooming. Lazy lolicon. I'm not even a lolicon. I'll have you on in the background at work. Okay. I can't even use X anymore. Permanent read-only mode for the second time now. X emailed saying it was restored, but... So, I mean, X is just so bad right now. Because it's like... It's so easy to mass report people on X. So, that's the thing I talked about last night. I was like, yeah, people are flagging stuff. People are mass reporting stuff. And then you lose access to your account if you get flagged too heavily. And then when I pointed out, people were like, no, we're not mass flagging things. And it's like, yeah, you are. We can see it. Other people are reporting on it. And they're just like, no. Because the app is so notoriously known for mass flagging. Heteroslept, so normal content. Exactly. I like my vanilla relationships. Thank you very much. Alright. Let's pull it up. Heterosexual could walk for Twilight. I mean, Twilight's special.
What makes a straight ship so bad, it starts getting called heteroslop. Heteroslop is a slang term. It's used to describe a straight couple
I wouldn't call it a slang term. I'd say it's just a term people made up.
In any sort of media that are generic, have no chemistry, and are seemingly only together because they're both a boy and a girl. In particular,
this just sounds like you don't like the specific story and you came up with a term to try and insult the specific story and then use it as a generic attack.
Occurring when a male and female are shoved into a romantic relationship, seemingly because they're both opposite genders. A lot of fans feel...
Okay, so you just... I swear to God, this guy just says any, like, leftist talking point to try and get attention.
like Uraraka's individual ambitions suffer because she has a crush on Deku, rather than using her feelings...
Okay, are you one of those? Oh my God, I'm already triggered. I'm already triggered. He's one of those. He's one of those stupid fucking idiots. It's like, Bakugo and Deku should have got together. Fuck off. They built that relationship up with Gravity Girl and Deku for ages. They built that relationship from the very beginning. There was obviously chemistry. Fuck the Toga arc I mean, all these people kept trying to push Gravity Girl and Toga and Bakugo and Deku together, and I hated it because it was very obvious the relationship that was going to be at the end. Like, anyone that had read the bloody manga or watched the anime knew what the relationship was going to be. But all the grifters and all the kids that were just like, oh my God, let's do Rainbow Flag, they instantly pushed that slop. And then as soon as they realized they weren't getting what they want, they cracked the shits and were like, we're going to burn the book. And it's like, you already bought the book. It doesn't affect anyone. All you're doing is increasing the values of people that collect the books. Because if the books become non-printed, then they become really expensive. Like these books here, which I finally got the last copy of it. The last one that I had ordered, which was volume 12. These are worth a lot of money because they're generally quite difficult to get your hands on. That's what happens when they stop printing them and you've got to go looking for them. The older they are, the harder they are to find the prints. Didn't the shippers harass the creator of the manga over that? Yes, they did.
As motivation to grow, she actively tries to deny them or suppress them, in particular so it won't interfere with her career, which inadvertently makes them an extension of the male character instead of their own character instead. These kinds of ships are often critiqued for the fact that they seemingly put a female in the backseat of the relationship and put more emphasis on the male in the relationship rather than...
The story's about Deku, you dumbass. He's doing the same thing that stupid feminist did, where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this male story is about a male and the female character's a side character. Thank you, Kenny Sensei, for the super chat. H game recommendation, Corrupted Kingdoms rating 8. I may play that off stream.
Bo.
Where do all these guys come from?
It's funny how those who preach inclusivity are the ones
It was actually funny because I saw someone on X was like, "Oh yeah, Chibi's the biggest gooner," and I'm like, "Dude, you don't have the things that I have in this house. Like, I have things that are off camera, just slightly, that are like insane gooner material. Like, I have some pretty wild stuff."
who actually practice exclusivity the most. Now me, I've always been a live and let live guy. You enjoy what you enjoy and I enjoy what I enjoy. But
I mean, that's generally how I've always been, right? You enjoy it, I enjoy what I want. We don't like step on each other's toes, and we generally get along. And I think that works. I think what's frustrating is when people like go into the My Hero Academia space that try to push the ships, try to push all that stuff. Gooner figures. I have some spicy figures. I got one in the other room that's from Freezing that has two body parts. So it's an interchangeable one where it's in a SMN outfit, and then there's a one that's a full outfit. In SMN outfit with the bikini on, and one with her full nude. I have that, which is from Freezing. I also now have the My Dress Up Darling one. I've also got a Raftalia one. There's one other I think I have that I can't remember. And I've also got like all the books and DVD of stuff. Yeah. How many Gooner stuff do you have? A lot. It's just different types of stuff, from DVDs, books, figures, stuff. Freezing Yo, I haven't heard of that anime in age. I've got the figure for her. Satellizer in like full SMN whip outfit. I can't show her because I'd get striked straight away. It's in the other room safe because I won't put it anywhere in visual sight.
But it seems there are those who won't extend the same courtesy, not only refusing to do so, but are actually incapable of doing so. Based on their whole existence focusing on media they don't enjoy, yet spend their whole time complaining how it's not for them. Instead of being an adult seeking out the media they do claim is for them. We saw this with the recent claim that anime doesn't have enough female protagonists, showing they just discovered anime yesterday. Then when countless examples are brought their way, they move the goalpost saying, no, there's not enough female leads in shonen, which is made for males, ignoring a whole part of the medium, shoujo, that would be for them, proving my point at the beginning of this. It's not about
It's the same thing that happened with the last video that we reacted to from the feminist, right? Where that chick was complaining about male-dominated like spaces in specific animes that were made for males, but it's like, yeah, but you're reading and consuming specific stories for men. And it's the same thing that these other content creators do, is they go into a story that is made for men and then complain it's made for men, when there are female-specific stories. And they go to it and they go, well, I don't like that one. And it's like, why? It's made specifically for you. It's because it's not mainstream enough.
Seeking what they like. It's about tearing down what you like by turning it inside out.
That's their enjoyment. Great pausing by me. That's what they enjoy. They enjoy destroying other people's hobbies.
Which has now led me to this new term, hetero slop, which basically
I've seen so many people attack this anime too, and I really like it. I think it's a good anime.
translates to I hate straight romance stories. A man being masculine taking on a protective role and a woman being feminine taking on a nurturing role. Can't have that, because to these types that's the worst form of storytelling. Or maybe I have a theory, it could be deep down inside these types actually do prefer these stories with male-led plots and what they call hetero slop. Maybe there's conflict happening where their social conditioning is telling them that male-led stories need to be done away with to be replaced with girl bosses, and that naturally they do enjoy these romance subplots grounded within a plot that includes saving the world. Why else would they force themselves to watch these instead of watching the abundance of stories within anime that clearly meet their expectations and serves their taste in media? For instance, I'm not into yaoi or BL stories, and instead of complaining about how we need more straight leads in that genre, which sounds stupid, I just watch what I'm into instead of making videos complaining about how BL or yaoi anime isn't for me. That's how these people sound to me. Another thing I notice is that there's a disdain for romance stories centered around a male lead who's average looking, an introvert, considered a loser, unpopular.
You're a total failure and you can only use your magic 8 times. Peeping is the only hope you have for an enjoyable social life.
Easily looked over as if invisible or no one even acknowledged.
I know that story. That was a good story. I never really I don't think I ever watched it fully because it was like weird on how you consume it. It was an interesting story.
He's alive, then eventually through a series of events befriends the hottest, most popular outgoing girl
Welcome home, dear Kazuki.
or girls
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Here and now. You want me to become your...
The whole premise of the story is the less times you can cast magic, the more powerful the magic it is, but the more often you can cast the magic, the less powerful the magic is. And because his is only 8 times, it means that his magic, when he uses it, it's extremely powerful. And so these girls want to sleep with him because it means they can combine his power with their numbers to make a combination. I do believe he ends up using all 8 and he ends up dying because once you use them all up, you disappear. See you, Beelzebub. Thank you for dropping by. And they end up finding some way to resurrect him. So, again, thanks for dropping by, Beelzebub. I much appreciate it.
Your wife? Stop it! I'm Kazuki's wife, so take this!
And see, that's the thing. They use their magic very openly. Well, when he can't because he's so limited. So they're willing to just throw their magic around.
and this alone boosts him into instant popularity,
My name is Yuna Miyama. I'm Kazuki's wife.
either making all of the other guys jealous or favorite, like, damn, how did he get her?
Alright, what's going on here? Not only are the 2 hottest girls in school after you, but you also have this new girl, Yuna, calling you her husband. Give us answers or else.
Which brings me to this post. They really need to stop making the male lead so ugly compared to the girls in shonen romance.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. One, they're meant to be self-inserts. So it's meant to be for the average guy. I know not everyone can look as amazing as me. I'm kidding. But they're designed to be a self-insert, right? Average looking, easy self-insert, basic for any guy to kind of put into. The chicks also are a lot more colorful because they're not the self-insert, but also making chicks look more unique is a lot easier. Guys generally don't have a lot of variations that they do. It's not like, and that's the thing, like a girl can have short hair and long hair and generally look good. Most guys that have long hair just kind of look feminine. So if you want a self-insert male like romance story, it's generally not going to be a guy that has long hair or something like that. It's like there's not as much ability to make a guy look different. So guys are generally, I mean, we all have to admit, guys just kind of look a lot more similar, right? There's not as much, in a gaming term, there's not as much customization options for men. For women, there's much more customization options. So in stories, yeah, you can make women look a lot more fancier, stand out-ish, all that other kind of stuff. Right? Yeah, I mean, femboys aren't bad, but a lot of these romances, they're not going to have femboys. And again, they're going to make the guy more of a self-insert. So they're going to make him average looking because he's going to look like an otaku kind of guy. And that's the whole point. They want the guy to look like an otaku. The girls are meant to have a variation of different looks. There's a much more variation of what they can work with, because they've got a whole ceiling to work with. It's like a guy like being like a 6 or a 5 out of 10. There's a lot more limited options because you're not allowed to make him too good looking or ugly. He's got to be in the average. A girl you can make as far and wide as you want, and there's a lot more room for work. I wouldn't mind a good looking male every now and then. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it either. I don't think there's necessarily anything bad with that myself, but it doesn't work exactly for self-inserts. And a lot of younger men want a self-insert to live into this fantasy. And I can't blame them, right? I can't blame them. Because romance in the real world kind of sucks right now. And guys you know, want a girlfriend. I think most of us kind of do, right? Me included. But it's like trying to find a girl in this day and age is just hard. Like dating has changed a lot over the years. And it's a lot more challenging. And then whenever you go on social media and you see what you see, you kind of lose heart. You get disheartened. So I think animes like this are much more of an escape for men to go to.
Anime. I get that it's supposed to be a self.
Real men don't wear makeup. Like, yeah, I mean, they don't. Like, women wear makeup. They have things with their hair. They can have long hair, shorter hair. There's a lot more variation to what you can do with a girl. A guy generally is going to be short hair, facial no makeup, generally a basic shirt and all the rest. Well, girls will wear a lot more fancier stuff. There's a lot more customizable options for chicks, so naturally they're going to have much more variation. Guys are going to look much more generic. In real life, it's kind of similar, but not quite the same. But it's like, again, we're all different. We're not going for like a 5 or a 6 out of 10 when it comes to the standards, because that's what it is. It's self-insert. Having standards now is too much for people now. I mean, it's funny because men having standards is seen as evil, and women just, their standards are so far out of whack that it's unobtainable. Right? It's like, I've spoken to some chicks that have told me straight up their standards for what they want, and they're like, you know, average looking, but their standards are like they want like a 9 or a 10 out of 10, but they're like maybe in like I would say the 6 to 7 out of 10, and they're asking for like a 9 and a 10 out of 10, and it's just like, be realistic. And they're just like, no, I want this, and then they complain that they can't find a boyfriend. And it's like, yeah, you've made the goals difficult deliberately for yourself. Guys' goals are insanely low. Like, a guy is just happy with a nice girl, right? That's loyal. But we get told we're evil for just asking for the bare minimum of human decency. Male characters going to have too flashy or femboy designs without being unappealing to most. Yeah. 6-0 millionaire, good looking. You're missing a couple of things there. They need to be famous, millionaire, certain height, certain build, certain looks. They need to have a car. Remember the house. They need to also be famous, have a large content creator space. Pretty much like, you know, those kinds of things. And then even after all that, they've got to have like a 20-pack and be able to beat a boulder down with one finger, be able to lift her at any point in time to do some romantic thing, have infinite amount of time at disposal, because again, they've got to be so rich that they don't need to work and don't have to work, so that they can spend all their time with them and spend all the money on them. Also, the guy cannot have any hobbies or interests that are seen as icky to her, but you've also got to have interests. So it's like one of those where it's like you have the interests, but then she won't like you for having them or not having them. I know some chicks that claim they want nerdy guys, but then when they date a nerdy guy, they try to change them to becoming not a nerdy guy. I have too much personal experience in this area. Thank you, Candy Sensei, for the super chat. I'm biased, and my only standards is that they don't cheat. I am a disgusting straight white male.
Insert thing.
I know that breaks people's minds right now.
But man, some anime take it way too far. The girls have amazing designs, unique hairstyles, expressive eyes, actual drip, and then the main character looks like a random background student with dead eyes and hair that has never seen a comb. I am not saying every male needs to look like, but at least make him look like he belongs in the same show. When the girl looks like she walked out of a fashion magazine and the guy looks like he was drawn in 5 minutes, the romance just feels weird to me. Am I the only one this bothers? Now, to me, these plots make sense of why they're desirable to watch. Outside of the comedy which they're filled of, there's a level of escapism and fantasy that is being fulfilled by the viewer. For me, it's not rocket science to see why, but for some, I guess it is. Some guys can relate to this, being the overlooked guy in a setting, and wouldn't it be so satisfying that not even the most popular or hottest girl recognizes me, but any girl, as stated with this comment in response. Honestly, I would not be surprised if harem anime are often made for male readers, viewers who have a hard time finding romance.
Bingo! Yahtzee!
Yes, because, as I said, there's a fantasy aspect to it.
Logic requires logic.
It's not hard to understand why. Just like for me, it's not.
Do you hear does he get animated? You reacted to the video about romance manga, that feminist a few days ago. I did, yes.
Hard to understand why women are into reading a novel that involves romantically dating a minotaur. It's hilarious, yes, but I understand. I get it. There's a Beauty and the Beast aspect to it. And instead of shitting on this and the demographic that enjoys it, I just read and watch what I'm into. See the difference? I get how women would love to self-insert themselves into dating a dominant man like in 50 Shades of Grey, or in this case, a beast. And through her feminine charm, she tames him and humanizes him. That's a classic story to tell, which makes sense. Again, it's Beauty and the Beast. But it seems this level of understanding mostly
Boobs. I like boobs. I'm a boobs person.
goes one way. And again, complaining about what one demographic enjoys instead of seeking out what you enjoy. The beauty of anime and manga, which tourists still haven't realized, is that there is so much variety, not just in current day, but dating back to the 70s or 80s.
Can I ask you about your Nendroids, by the way? I'm not sure how many you've got at all. I don't own any Nendroids. I own a lot of figures, but not Nendroids. I don't like collecting Nendroids.
Guarantee you will find too much of what you love. All it takes is a little bit of effort to seek it out. But real fans, they don't see it as effort. It's just pure enthusiastic fandom and interest. You know, in the West or Hollywood, we used to enjoy this variety of genres that served many audiences. You had universal genres, and then within that you had subgenres like romance, where the unpopular guy meets the hot girl. For instance, I was rewatching The Girl Next Door not too long ago, and this movie shares the same plot these types just seethe over and get offended by. A guy who's not so popular, academically inclined, nerd or geek, eventually meets a bombshell woman by chance, which she was, that actress was. She was hot.
I'm all wet. Can I come in?
Hey guys, this is Danielle.
And as they get to know each other, she begins to break him out of his shell, doing bold and daring things like skinny dipping.
What's the craziest thing you've done lately?
This is right up there.
Or attending a party where only the cool kids go and he's not welcome. But by her encouraging him to be more assertive, it inspires him to just go for it, taking the lead for once in his life, kissing her, marking a defining moment in his development, boosting him to a level of popularity he could only dream of, walking through prom like a king.
Do not fuck with us.
Now, is this realistic? Is this how it usually goes? No, but that's
I was gonna say no, but yeah. It's a story. It's fiction.
not the point. It's fiction and fantasy for viewers to enjoy.
Personally, I mean, yeah, I like, you know, good personality and all the rest, but I'm just saying I like boobs, okay?
Regardless, he becomes a character I'm rooting for, proud that he's gotten the girl. I know it doesn't work like this most of the time, damn near all the time, especially when she turns out to be a, let's say, star. Because if this was real life, I would have heavily advised him to drop the long-term commitment goals because it just wouldn't work. But since it's not reality and a movie, I'm not applying real world logic in that sense, and I'm just enjoying the movie. It's an entertaining rom-com. It's the reason I enjoy certain isekais, of a loser guy who reinvents himself in another world or going back in time and instantly gains favor from those he never would have. Like with one anime, Haibara's Teenage New Game Plus, that's airing this current season. It's about a guy who goes back in time to his high school years and reinvents himself, becoming very popular, great at sports, fully competent, and liked by the girls around him. It's cool to watch, and there's a certain fantasy aspect to it. There's a lot of us that would love to redo so many points in our lives with the knowledge and wisdom we have now.
It'd be true. I know what to invest in on the stock market, and then I'd be a multi-millionaire.
It would almost feel like being unstoppable, like a god in certain situations. Or like Cheat Skill in Another World, where you have
Cheat Skill's great. Cheat Skill in Another World's great. It's just people hated him because he was fat and then he lost weight.
an overweight guy, shy, bullied every day damn near, who goes to another world, gets in shape and becomes handsome literally overnight, which is fantasy in itself. I'm sure many would love to lose weight that effortlessly instead of spending months training and dieting, but then goes back to his school and is automatically admired, beloved, and sought after.
I'd buy Bitcoin. I mean, there's a couple of stocks that I'd definitely invest in early on if you go back in time. The rest is all like, yeah, you know, I could potentially undo specific events that happened in my life that led to certain health problems.
And gains favor by the hottest, most popular girl known to everyone else, making the other guys jealous or wonder like, damn, how did he get her? And this type of plot is nothing new. Again, Hollywood used to provide these variety of stories that serve different audiences, like with the movie The New Guy, where you have an unpopular teen known.
I remember doing a video on Cheat Skill, Cheat Skill, and I always said that I get people call it slop, but I really like it. It's just like, you know it's slop, but it's good. It's fun. It's just a good self-insert where you're just like, oh yeah, guy changes his life overnight. He's able to balance between the real world and in this like new world that he goes to, but also the fact that he's able to bring one of the girls from the real world over there and then the girl from the fantasy world in there, and he's balancing between the two, and he's able to make money and the power, and it just, I don't know. It's cliche, but it's fun. What about Eminence in the Shadow? What's your opinion on that anime? I like Eminence in the Shadow, but the light novel is very different to the anime, and the anime and the light novel are different to the manga. There's differences between the source material, but the anime is fun. I personally enjoy watching Eminence in the Shadow more as an anime than I do as a light novel, because the comedy aspect in the anime is really good. And the dub isn't actually too bad, right? I know some people have the whole sub versus dub thing, but the dub's actually pretty decent for it. So, I mean, I like my isekais. I like my slop isekais, right? They're like junk food. Sure, they're not perfect. Sure, they got cliches, but they're just fun, right? They're just a good way to turn your brain off. The only downside, a lot of them, is that they get one season and that's it. So, I just... That's the only downside about them, is the single seasons kind of thing, and that's all you ever get out of it. It's like, come on, you want something a little bit more. Manga is more funnier. I haven't read the manga. I've read the light novels for Eminence. I just know they're all different.
As a loser in his school, then decides to attend another school, completely reinventing himself to becoming the coolest guy there, getting all the baddies and no longer being bullied. This is not exclusive to anime, at least it used to not be. But real quick, since straight romance in anime is under attack from the usual types, I decided for this video to dedicate a sketch to one of the 3 beautiful, voluptuous stacked wives of the flashy Tengen, known as Suma. Now, Tengen is my favorite character in Demon Slayer, with the Entertainment District being my favorite arc of the series, and when I found out he has 3 wives, I thought, yeah, this is my guy. Obviously having the same taste in women as me, all with their own personality, with Suma being the more timid, a bit over dramatic, wearing her feelings on her sleeve, which is all charming in its own way. Now with this sketch, I did challenge myself with the shading
It's good art.
bit when it came to her hair, and I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of it. But next time, to make this process much more easier, I'll use the charcoal in my sketch kit, which I just learned helps with that, especially instead of just using my pencil.
Duh.
And I gotta say, something I'm really enjoying learning how to draw are the heavies, because as I always say on my live streams, what is it that we love? The heavies.
The heavies.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Merch coming soon. But shout out to those who continue to send me their sketches, and something I think is cool since I started learning how to draw and showcasing my own sketches in my videos is that it's getting people to draw who haven't in a while, almost sparking a newfound interest in it. So it's always cool to see what you guys send. And if you want a sketch kit similar to mine, I've tagged various items in this video to check out, along with some other things like figures, including including a Mitsuri one, and Tengen that I myself bought one in Japan. But if not, regardless, I always appreciate the love. Now back to the video. Maybe this is why anime has become so popular, because Hollywood stopped feeding this market or demographic, discarded them, and easily anime filled that void, served that market. But I also saw comments like these. I'm so with you. The issue is it's quite often nerdy guys who make manga and they are not that interested in hot dudes quite often. But yeah,
I love the way that dude's trying to make it sound like he's a hot dude, so that's why they don't, it's like, well, to start with, actually, a lot of these mangas are made by women. So that actually instantly debunks his point. Because a lot of these romance mangas are made by women. So yeah.
we need some more hot main character males. Which again, this is an issue of not having stories to fulfill this taste, but the willingness or interest or actual fandom to actually seek them out, because they exist. A popular handsome guy that meets an unpopular girl and falls in love with
Yeah, there are actually a bunch of animes that do that.
her, that's pretty common. Lemon Soda, Kimi ni Todoki, that centers around this plot. Popular handsome guy notices the girl who always feels anxious and overlooked or misunderstood. Again, Hollywood used to fulfill this taste with
100 Girlfriends written by a woman? Yep.
movies like She's All That, about a popular guy, all-American athlete goes for the unpopular, nerdy or geek girl and breaks her out of her shell.
Hey, have you noticed what the Eminence in the Shadow don't get many figures? I've got a figure of Eminence in the Shadow. I've got Beta, the big one, in the cupboard.
Or more anime like Clear Moonlit Dusk,
Hey, Daily Chan.
where popular handsome guy beloved by all the girls chooses the one that no one would have expected.
It's just funny because a lot of the critiques that go towards mangas that are like, oh, these are just written by lonely, nerdy men. And it's like, dude, most of them are written by women. And especially the ones that they are complaining about are the ones that are written by women. That's what's funny about it. A lot of romances are written by women. And those romances are the ones they're taking a jab at. So it's like, the jab doesn't work. The jab does not work where they're like, oh, this is just lonely, nerdy guys writing these. Actually, I find a lot of men write light novels and women do mangas. Statistically speaking. That doesn't mean there isn't light novels that aren't written by women, but there are a lot more mangas I find. Women write romances? Yeah, they do. Women are more likely to write romances. And again, a lot of those women will probably create romances that they prefer. So clearly some of those women do like nerdy guys. That doesn't mean every woman likes nerdy guys. Kind of wish there were more out there, but you know. But there's clearly an interest out there. Spirit, hey, Draconic. So, I don't know, strange. I mean, it is funny the fact that, and this disproves, and I mean, I can understand if someone doesn't know that a lot of mangas are written by women, right? I can understand that. Not everyone knows everything. But the fact that they took the jab at it, and the facts contradict their analysis, proves that, again, how they see things is just not right. It's written by lonely men writing about... I see what you're doing there, yeah. The good old Twitter. But actually, these are written for literature. It's like, yeah. Manga and women are like two peas in a pod. Yeah, I mean, women generally like, I think, doing mangas more than light novels. And I get why. It's more colourful. There's more artisticness. You can create a more visceral... I love mangas. I think mangas are great.
Breaking her out of her shell, thinking she was too tomboyish to find romance. Fragrant Flowers blooms with dignity with another handsome lead that in some way fulfills the Beauty and the Beast or Romeo and Juliet vibe women love. All you have to do is look for them, which isn't hard to do. But that's all I have for this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. This is why I say out of every...
Women are a big part of the anime industry. They are. But the problem is that we're now letting in the wrong women into the anime industry and into the anime space. And I think that's what's happening. It's not that women are in the space, it's that we're letting the wrong women in. And because we're letting the wrong women in, everything's going to absolute shit. We only have to look at the internet in general and see what's going on.
Everyone who claims to love anime in current day, only 15% are actually true fans. Fans with genuine interests will find the stories they love from current day or from decades ago. I'm still watching anime I never had from the 90s, enjoying every minute of them from multiple genres. To me, these aren't fans, but only those who have FOMO, feeling an obligation to watch anime so they don't miss out. It's funny how current Hollywood is serving their so-called taste, from representation, girl lead bosses, more than ever. Romance stories where heterosexuality seems non-existent, serving up other kinds. Yet, they still refuse to watch and for some reason are obsessed with how anime isn't serving their needs. To me, this is all FOMO, from non-fans, just tourists visiting then complaining about what people have been enjoying for decades. Also, if you want to support the content I create, consider joining my channel and becoming a member. It's much appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Free think. Peace.
Good video. Bye. What does it say? Good video. I did think about covering this as a little bit of fun. I am not going to go over that. Just checking. Dojo. All right, you know what, Tony? Just because you want it, we're doing dojo. But that does mean, by the way, that I'm gonna explain things that I learn in my dojo. So remember, Tony, we're gonna be explaining how I do things. You promised last time. I did. We'll do it. Seeing as I tortured you, we have to torture me. I mean, I've watched this so many times now, but I'll explain things as we go through it. So this is basically McDojos versus real dojos. So what is a McDojo? I'll explain what a McDojo is. A McDojo is basically a dojo, like say for example you're doing karate, right? And you pay to go to a dojo, and they'll basically, it will just be designed to pay you to. Tony's like, he's like, can we watch it? There is no fear in this dojo. So basically, a McDojo is somewhere where you go where it's more about the brand and it's more about paying to rank up than it is to earn the rank up. While a real dojo, of course, you work it, you do it, all the etc. stuff. So while we're going over some of this stuff, I will try and explain some of the stuff that I've learned in my dojo to kind of give an idea. And we'll try and analyze it. I don't know how well this is because it's quite loud. Okay, so dude, you showed it to me and I want chat to experience that. I went for it. Okay. Yeah, but I'm going to get really technical. I'm not going to get just upset. I'm going to go technical. So when you see this, right, this whole situation here where she's punching a board, to start with, with the dojo that I go to, we don't actually punch any boards. I do know the junior kids do boards, but it's like a special magnetic board where it's like, it's just two magnetic things and he just holds it. Literally, you could flick it and it will break. But it's designed that he encourages kids to like punch through the board rather than trying to punch the board. Because when we do karate, you know, when you're hitting someone, you're not trying to hit them, you're trying to punch through them. So it's more about the momentum in itself. So I think my teacher, he uses the boards for the kids, not to actually break them, but to encourage them to punch through the board. So it's not really designed to be like a, oh, are you actually strong kind of thing. That actually hurts more if you can't break it. Yeah, and that's what I was going to explain. Because when you see it, there's a couple of things that I noticed straight away. And my YouTube thing crashed. I'll just refresh that. It's nothing bad. It's just it likes to crash randomly. Also, the fact that she's placing them wherever they're convenient is kind of silly. So the first problem I've already noticed with her, and to be honest, I wouldn't do it from chamber position. So for those that don't know what a chamber position is, a chamber position is... A chamber position is holding it here. A chamber position's here. She's got it like this. So you notice her hand, it's down here. A chamber position is here. You hold it here, and you go straight like that. And I'm a little bit too far out, but you go like that, and then you go, right? The thing I noticed as well is I don't think she's twisting her hips. No, she's not twisting her hips enough. And I'm not saying that because she's fat, but it could be impacting, but she's clearly not twisting her hips, which is why she's not breaking the board. Because when you do a punch, right, it's not about strength. Most of a punch comes from technique. Power is the last thing on it. It's about technique. And when you do a punch, because generally we punch from up here because we do proper, you go and you twist the hips. So you make sure you twist, and then you turn the feet sideways. You can't see my feet, but you twist it sideways. So when you go in, you go like that. So you see straight away she's not twisting her hips. And even if you want to hold it in chamber position, it's not high enough, and it's clear that she's not twisting the hips. So there's not as much power behind the fist itself. I would also say, if you're going to punch, you want to hit with the two front knuckles, not those. Because those hurt a lot more. And they're weaker. You always punch with the two front knuckles. So whenever you hit a board, if you're going to hit a board, you want to hit with the two front knuckles, which are stronger and more resistance. And you also want to make sure you twist the hips, because that's where most of your power is going to come from, is from the hips. Otherwise, you're going to run into her problem where you're just not going to do anything. And that's exactly why you can see she's hurting herself, because she's probably punching with the full fist. I can't really see from the quality how she's got her fist, because you're meant to have a fist like that. You never have your fist like that or that. That you're gonna break your thumb. That you're probably gonna break your thumb. That is how you have a fist. So I would say she's hitting with the entire fist, and it's probably hurting. Probably quite a lot, because she's not using the two front parts, and she's not twisting the hips in. And see, straight away, as soon as she's required to just hit with the arm, it's easy, because she's not using any technique. She's just swinging her arms. Also, I think with her feet, she's not lifting. Okay, I see her problem with her feet. So her footwork's also shit. So, okay, how to explain this? If you're gonna kick, you lift your leg like this. It's hard to explain because I'll use paint. Alright. Picture your body as this block. This is your body, right? Your leg needs to come out and go like that. Her leg is like this. So when she's kicking, she's got her leg like that. and then she's twisting and then going out, which loses all the power. You hold it out like that, and you go side. That's how you're meant to kick. So that's why she's screwing that kick up, because she's got no power in it. You can do push-ups on your knuckles because it's hardening. Yeah, well, I have to do push-ups on my knuckles. That's one of the requirements that I have to do in my dojo, is that we have to be able to do fist push-ups. And not the baby ones, because a lot of people that do fist push-ups, they do it like this. Right? They do it like this. We're not allowed to do it like that. We have to do a fist push-up with our actual fist. Not like that. That is and you say, well, what's the difference? I've done it like this. It is so much easier to do than it is this. When you do it like this, fuck, it hurts. It actually hurts on hard ground. That takes a lot of pressure off your knuckles. Takes a lot of pressure off. That hurts when you're doing it like that. So it's fist conditioning. So yeah, she wouldn't have any fist conditioning whatsoever. That's why it's probably hurting her a lot more, because they wouldn't be doing any fist push-ups. But if you look at how she's lifting her leg, she's tilting her leg inwards, which means she's not kicking properly. And trust me, if you do that, if I was to do that as a blue belt, they'd make me do 10 push-ups just for fucking it up. And if I did it again, probably 30. Do it on concrete. It sucks, man. It bleeds. I don't want to do it on concrete. We have to do it on, our dojo is inside of basically like you know those school like basketball court things, those indoor basketball courts? We have to do it on those, which the ground is still really hard, but it's not concrete hard, but it's like, it's really solid. I need to start practicing my push-ups more with my fist to condition my fists even more, because, yeah, I think at some point, I probably will end up getting into brown belt. Maybe by the end of this year, I might. Maybe. And I know they're gonna really push me to do more fist push-ups. Yeah, she's doing it again. I can see it. She's trying to do it quickly, but she's tilting her leg inwards, which is not how you're meant to do it. You're meant to do it straight. You're just meant to do it straight out, like a box. I can do at least 30 knuckle push-ups. That's not bad. Depends on the service, because I mean, some services can be, yeah. I have very bony hands, so I hate doing it. Like, whenever I have to get on my knees in the dojo, it hurts so much, because I've got such bony knees and bony hands. It's like, ugh, it's horrible. I hate it. She's already bent it. Did she actually do it properly that time, though? She didn't do it properly, but it was already snapped. Is everyone in a black belt in this dojo? Pretty much in these dojos, yeah, they're all black belts, because they all pay for it. You can see how unimpressed they are. And then she changes hands. It's on the title for me, yeah. And you can see here, these aren't, they're not, I feel like the design of breaking boards is not to make them as hard as possible, but it's more about breaking them in a way that is technique. She just pushed it with her weight, not technique. Sloppy. Yeah. I noticed like the feet kick, she had already kind of partially already bent it, so it was already partially broken, but then she just kind of threw her weight into it. Which if you're fighting someone with that, someone would just step out of the way. But I find that breaking boards isn't about strength, it's just about showing technique. So they're not meant to be thick or hard to break, they're meant to be more about showing that you can do the technique. Which is why I've never seen any of our dojo do board breaking except for the kids, and it's more done to just encourage them to punch through instead of break a board. Because they really nail us for technique. Any advice for strengthening wrists? I'd say look up different wrist exercises. Like, you know, try to do different wrist stretches, maybe wrist exercises, like try to lift things like that, but don't try and wear them too much. I still find this so funny. Because when they're doing... when the rice buckets... I mean, I remember about the rice bucket thing. Yeah, there was like the rice bucket. Look up the rice bucket thing. I heard someone strengthening wrists with rice buckets. Where they stick it in a rice bucket and they just twirl it around. And it strengthens the wrist. But with these, this is like kata work. In my dojo, you have to be in sync. You cannot be out of sync with your katas. And it doesn't matter what rank you're in. You have to be in sync. This one generally would get me into so much trouble. If our dojo did this ever even once, dude, we would be tortured with punishment for doing this. Like, this is not how you do katas. Also, you don't do this much yelling. I know most of the katas we do, there's only a couple where you make noises. Their hands are so sloppy. It's like they're just throwing their hands around. They're just like... there's no power. Like, some katas we have is power driven. Some of them are more relaxation. But, oh, yeah. I love the way she did her punch. I was looking at this chick here. She's doing her punch. It was just like, she was just randomly just like... That frontal kick sucked by her, by the way. Yeah, that was a terrible frontal kick. Because she just kind of bent the knee. She kind of like flipped it up. How would you know who's screwing up the katas if they're all out of sync? Like, how would you know? There's no way to know. Which means he's not even paying attention to who does the kata right. Unless he's picking on certain people. You can even hear the woman in the background laughing. That's how you do katas. In sync. See, straight away, those kicks are beautiful. They're perfect. I mean, yes, they're athletes and they're in the Olympics, but still, it feels nice to see. I mean, I probably can't kick as good as them, but still, it's nice compared to the sloppy ones. It's like learning to do a dance. That's how I always look at katas. It's like learning a dance routine. But when we're learning katas, it's about understanding what you're using the kata for, right? It's about applying it to a real scenario. Like there are just different things that you can do in a kata that you could apply into real combat. We got 67 people. Yeah, we do actually. I have to learn a bunch of different katas. So when I first started, so for no belt, we learned 1 kata. For white belt, we learned 2. Green, well, I mean, I'm just trying to imagine in my mind, but yeah. When I was on no belt, it was one kata, and then green belt was 2. White belt was 2, green belt was 2, blue belt I'm learning 2, which is power kata and relaxation kata. And then once I hit brown belt, I learn another 2 katas. And then when I hit brown belt with a black stripe, I have to make 2 of my own katas. So I have to create my own. 1 has to be weapon, and 1 has to be hand one. So once I hit brown belt, black stripe, I then do weapons training. And then at black belt, well, I think, yeah, then you do that. And then at black belt, you learn 1 kata, because that's when you go into your first dan. And then after that, I think it's, I don't know what they do after that, because I've never asked. I know my teacher, which is Shihan, that's his title, which means teacher of teachers, he's going for his 6th dan in 2 weeks. So not this weekend, but next weekend. He's going for his 6th dan. I'm going to be there because I'm probably going to go to grading anyway, even if I'm not going for a rank up. I might get a tip or something. So he's going for his, and he's making his own kata for weapons. And he's using a real blade. So it's pretty cool. And my friend also, which Tony knows, because Tony's met my friend, he's going for his first dan. I think it's technically first dan. Yeah. Those kicks are already off to a bad start. They're not proper. I get that they're trying to do double kicks, but even though double kicks can be challenging, those are extremely sloppy for doubles. And the way that the thing when we do katas is you're meant to do them not fast, but not slow, but at a pace where it feels like it's got purpose. This just feels like they're waving their arms around. Is he training to become a demon slayer? Maybe. Like, the moves themselves are used in practical situations, but the way they're waving their arms around has no power or purpose. Like, if they had to use these in a real scenario, there's no proper discipline to proper use it. Like, when he went like that, I'd have to look at it if he actually did it correctly. Okay, so I was paying attention to that. So when he did it wrong. A speed designed for fight. A speed designed for a fight. I mean, the thing with kata is you want to do it like slow and concise. It's more about making it look good, but still feeling practical, than doing it fast and sloppy. Because this just doesn't... I mean, straight away, when he did that, he had it out like there. So when you're meant to do it in a more higher position, because it's meant to be designed for when you come up like this, like if someone comes up, which means you're meant to block both. His is just like down here, which isn't blocking anything. That's just like, he just went, and he just flapped them about. So there's no real proper way to do it. Generally, it's sloppy. He did it a little bit better that time. The kick is off. They don't seem to do their kicks properly. It's the one thing I noticed. They do not do their kicks properly.
시작.
See, theirs was a lot more when they did it and you see them doing it. It's like actually at a I mean, I keep putting mine in the right place, but his was like all over the place. It was like either too wide or too in or too out. But at the last one, he actually got it proper. But you got to do it in a good position. The only difference is we don't have to kick that high. We at least need to just kick at a practical height. Flows like water. It does. It's clean. And this is the thing. Notice the difference of the speed. The speed is completely different in how it's done. Right? They're just not speed running through it. It's clean, it flows, it's not too fast, it's not too slow, and it's got, like, purpose behind it. Because when they were doing it, they were just like, whoosh. They're just doing it. Like, the speed difference is big.
I can't believe it. I'm in this feeling. I can't believe it.
I know what he's doing here as well.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Yeah, look at that. Oh, never mind.
So what he's trying to do there, do these really work in a fight? Depends. Some of it does, yeah. Proper, real good katas do teach you proper practical things. You know, like ones that we do would be like, so one that we do is like this, and we step through, and then we backhand, right? That's like one of the things that you do. You usually just like step through and then backhand. It's like, you can use those in a practical situation, but what he's trying to do there is a hand disarm. Which is, imagine someone's grabbing you on the hand there. The whole point of what he's meant to do is to do this. That's what he's meant to be doing. But he's going like this. He's not even... Because you're meant to rub it against your hand, right? Because it's meant to be about grabbing the wrist and then going like... From there, like that. And then step through and then punch. So if I do it properly and not like an idiot... So you'd be like... You'd be standing like that, and then you go like that. It's hard to do it when you've got such a limited... Here, we'll move it into this. So it's like, you're like this. This is actually how we do HPAC kata. So you're like this, and then we start, and then we go like that, and then like that. And then we turn our hands because we're doing a block. But what he's trying to do is just that. Which is, you're meant to go like that, because you're meant to disarm a hand grab, which is, yeah, self-defense, and then a punch. But those are traditional, right? So that's like a traditional way of doing it. In a real combat, it would be like you could do that, but generally we keep our hands up, so if someone grabs, you can kind of like go like that. It's more practical, but it's tradition, and it's about teaching technique.
Yeah. I cannot believe that.
And you can see Tony's not disagreeing with me, so he's been taught the same stuff as potentially I have as well, and we're part of different dojos and we've learned different techniques, and there's fundamentals of what is classified as tradition and as modern fighting, because we learn in my dojo, we learn a lot of traditional stuff, but we learn a lot of modern combat stuff, because it's important to learn traditional methods, the foundations, and then learn the more modern forms as well. Hey Daily, welcome to the stream. This is a bit of a different stream. We're actually not going over anything anime related this time. We're actually going over dojo stuff. So I'm almost giving a lecture on dojo stuff.
Belt's deceiving you.
Like, see his hands like up here when he does it. He's like that. You're meant to flow it across your wrist.
He's doing it again.
He's doing by his own way.
See, they're doing it the right way. I love the music because it's so bad. Because every time they're kicking... Oh, I'm gonna have to use the paint. Right? Imagine this, the body, and the legs coming out. It's not even like that. It'd be more like... That's how they're kicking. You're not meant to. You're meant to have... If you're gonna do a side kick, you have your leg out like that. That's your body, that's your leg. Not like that. They're button mashing? Yes. Yes. That's what they're doing. That's what you're meant to do. Wrong. Correct. That's the right way. That's the wrong way. That's what they keep doing in that wrong dojo. They keep doing it wrong. It's stupid. Also, if you're gonna fight, I mean, different dojos do different things, but we're always taught to face on, not stand sideways all the time. They're doing a lot of sideways attacking, which makes it very easy, because all I would have to do is do a leg check and then do a side kick. That's it, and that would be the end of it. His nuts would be absolutely crushed, because he's two side on, and if you get in at the right angle, you can just do a leg sweep. Spamming is how you waste stamina? Yes. That guy would be pooped after like 10 seconds of fighting. And you just stand back. You just let them do it. It makes it sound like you're being cowardly, but you wait for them to waste their stamina and then you just do a leg check and then side kick it in the nuts. We're taught in our dojo, you can kick anyone in the, like, if you're in a real fight, kick them in the nuts. Do whatever you gotta do. I just love the way he did the kick so sloppy that he fell over. Or just parry. Yeah, I mean, you can just parry. I mean, the easiest thing is just to parry. Just don't stand in the way. But if you were in close, right, and you had to block something, leg sweep. Well, not leg sweep, leg check. That dude had his back to him. You're not smart. It's actually funny because last night I was doing... did you saw the video on Chibi Reviews, You're a Hypocrite? Chiba Reviews titled... Did you saw the video on Chiba Reviews titled You're a Hypocrite? Is it about Chiba Reviews or is it about the Demi thing? Because, I mean, there's a lot of videos on it. And I know some people are trying to take jabs at Chibi. But I remember when I was doing sparring last night, I was practicing with one of the black belts and we were doing like parry strikes. And then when I had to spar one of the green belts, I was getting headshots so many times. Like I wasn't hitting them in their head, but you do like the motion of like pretend to hit, right? It's like these where you're not actually hitting, but you're making it look like you hit. It's probably about Demi. Yeah, I mean, if it's the You're a Hypocrite, it's probably about Demi. No, it's about some VTuber. Yeah, that's Demi. If it's about the VTuber chick, then it's about Demi. I mean, it depends on which video it is. I think I saw one from Ellie. She was covering it. Or Ali or Ellie. She covered it. But she didn't even react to the right clips. She only reacted to certain things that were used that weren't actually what was being talked about. Which is why I think the drama's getting stupid now, because there was a guy called Manager Jojo who deliberately grabbed the wrong VOD and linked it up to another VOD and claimed that it was all debunked because he proved that actually the timelines were actually different and all the rest. And he deliberately changed the clip, like he shortened the clips, he grabbed the wrong VOD and then tried to present it as we debunked people, and it wasn't. He didn't debunk any of it. He just deliberately misused the wrong VODs. And I believe Rimmer and Ellie were reacting to those specific clips, and so they're like, oh yeah, this isn't actually what people claim it was. And it was like, those weren't the actual clips that any of us were referring to. They were using the wrong clips. So I don't know if that's the specific video. I didn't watch all of theirs, but I saw what they were reacting to, and I was like, okay, if you and even the comment section corrected Ellie. As far as Rimmer goes, I think Rimmer's kind of like friends with a lot of those VTubers, so she's naturally going to glaze for them harder. But there are points I do lose in, No, saw that video, You're a Hypocrite. It's about Pomini being a lolly and TATC fans denying it. Oh. Okay. Like, being a lolly? Okay. She's a petite, short woman? Okay, yeah. That makes more sense. It's hard to know because there's so much, like, drama in the anime community about lolly stuff nowadays that I kind of honestly just roll my eyes a lot of the times. And I just stop caring. The lolly stuff is stupid. Yeah, it is. I mean, I constantly get attacked and they're like, oh, you're the P word. And that's by the way, that's a lot of what Demi's fans were coming after me over. They were like, oh yeah, you're into lollies, so you're an evil person. And I'm like, what's a lolly to you? Because it's like, again, lollies are such a broad word when it comes to anime. These people are just tourists. They're fakes. VTubing drama is basically just monster of the week at this point. Yeah. That is not how you block their kick. It just... Great argument. What, for VT? I just... Honestly, every time I see the lolly drama, I've gotten to the point where I just don't care anymore. Like... I care, like, of course, clearly, you know, if you're talking about it now, I care, but I don't care enough to actually want to engage with them anymore on a proper, like, one-on-one conversation, right? I'm just at the point where I'm just like, I don't want to, because there's no value in having a debate with a brick wall over lolly stuff, because it's very clear they don't know what the word lolly means, and they don't care to know what the word lolly means, because they're adamant in their mindset that the word lolly means something else, and thus you're this bad person. And that's the problem with a lot of the criticism when it comes to those individual content creators, is they've adamantly convinced themselves of what the word lolly and lolicon means, that any discussion is fruitless. So I bet I'm more of a lolicon. I mean, like I said, there's a couple of lolly characters I like Hestia, you know, Akuski and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not the biggest lolly type person. I just get irritated at how stupid the lolly conversation is, because it always turns into the person attacking the lolly community is always, I don't know what the word means, I don't care to know what the word means, you're the P word, now you have to be this word because I said so, but I'm not going to back it up with facts. And it's just like, this is the problem with anime going mainstream, is they're all Taurus. I laughed at the Demi situation because it's literally sets herself up for this. Yeah, I mean, all she had to do was just not talk about it. If she just said her piece and then left, it would have blown over 2 days ago. Don't you know people say Hestia isn't even the author, even though the author... Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing that proves to me that these people don't know what the word lolly means. Because again, it's about a body type, not an age. And these people are constantly pushing the idea that it's about an age, not a body type. And it's like, that's the issue about the word lolly. And yeah, whenever you say, oh yeah, you know, I like Hestia, she's a lolly, they're like, no, she's not. And I'm like, it's literally stated in the anime and in the light novel by the author. Oh, well, I know more than the author. You mean the person that lives in Japan, that consumes the content, that is part of the culture, that is an intricate creator of the culture, and you know more than the people that live in Japan because you're a Westerner that did what amount of research? And it's like, oh yeah, I know. It's just like, okay. That's why I just don't care to engage anymore on a proper, fair one-on-one conversation. I generally just call them the R word and then just mock them and then move on. And I generally just block them as well, because I'm at the point where I just block these people. I just do not care, because they will stick in your comment section and they will never leave. They will just constantly bot their likes, they'll use alts, they'll spam, and I'm just like, I just don't care enough to want to engage every time they're in the comments. I'm just like, block, ignore, move on. That's it. I care enough to get rid of it, but not enough to want to continuously engage. I'm still getting pushed back on the fake tweet on its real items. Real, you have no idea what you're doing. I find it interesting because, yeah, I mean, we debunked that tweet, but people are saying that it's real. Which I think is interesting. I mean, again, if someone can prove that that tweet's real, then knock themselves out. But a lot of people were saying that it was real. I mean, when I looked it up, it linked to a Reddit post which talked about stuff that was to do with him doing some stuff and getting, like, all that kind of drama, but it was never directly linked to that specific tweet.
Carry him down the other side. Walk down the side, baby. Don't go on steep.
Thank you. Do you want your shoes off? Never mind. What did he do to him?
That didn't even look like he hit him hard.
What the heck did he do?
Ready, I call it. Ready, she show. I call him. That's in. You're flat-footed. He's bigger than you. Hands up. Now. Griffin.
I'm about to put up a $50 anyone who can get an archive of it. I don't think there is an archive. And I mean, you know, maybe she has made tweets that she has made that have been deleted that they haven't archived. Because I think the reality is a lot of people haven't been archiving everything she's been saying for a while. But now people are. Which is why I think she's going to be more careful now. But I mean, she's probably said some wild stuff that hasn't been archived.
I'm going to show you the toe hold is simply holding the toe. So, grabbing here, coming over, grab my wrist. I'm going to do a roll, and he's going to follow me because he's still onto my leg, and I'm going to apply the submission. I can even lock my legs here to make sure he doesn't go anywhere, and I fold the toes to my opponent's butt as I move forward as well too.
I always want to put my hand on my own.
We've done this before, and it doesn't take much pressure to suffocate someone. You can do you don't have to do very much to suffocate someone. And that's why I do think it's a lot of people that do use it aren't using it very well, because some people use too much force.
Shoulder, let's bring the camera in front.
That's why you always archive? Yep.
So that my hands are not exposed to my training partner. Now the last thing, I want to lock my hand in place.
Are you training to fight with other YouTubers? No.
I use my chin to do that. Okay? And as a result, we're set in place. Now from here, to actually finish the strangle, I use a rotational method where I take my right elbow over my training partner's right shoulder. And as a result,
there we go again with the speed. Apparently Tony's going to beat me up now. We'll see how it is. I'm just going to run him over with a car. I am debating on going to AFCON on Friday because I want to sort the tickets out, but my friends are both busy on Friday, and I don't know if I can be bothered driving to the city. And there we have it. Spoken like a bloody bogan. Exactly. Tactical, baby. You'll be there. Yeah, I figured you'll go for the opening ceremony. I don't really care about the opening ceremony. I just want to go for the ticket. So I have the tickets sorted out for the weekend. Because, my God, do I not want to be in a line. I just don't want to deal with a line. React to Chibi now. Chibi reviews. Which one? Because he's done a bunch of videos. I mean, he covered it twice. He made 2 videos. VTuber attacks me and loses everything. I lost everything to gain more. YouTube censorship, they got exposed. The most recent one? Okay. It's 5 minutes, so it's not too bad.
Well, we got quite the drama to cover today, and it is absolutely insane just how mask off people are, how people...
Weren't you all the same people calling everyone a Peter over Eva?
Are getting exposed left and right, and that there is really no argument to counter what people are saying, especially what Rock Solid is saying here in this post. But before I cover this entire
wasn't he being like unironic though, like being sarcastic?
We need to talk about the initial post and what's going on here. So basically, a few days ago, if you are aware of Fortnite, you play Fortnite, or you browse or anything when it comes to the amazing digital circus, you will know that Pomni, was introduced into Fortnite. You can get her as a character skin within Fortnite, a really nice model design and everything about it, and obviously, in typical internet fashion, you had the entirety of Rule 34 getting overwhelmed thanks to that. But the point of the matter is that, a lot of people started calling out the hypocrisy, that they started noticing that a lot of people that were completely fine with Pomni and the way Pomni was depicted, her design and everything, they started noticing that the same people that were really happy about Pomni were the same individuals that were saying you're a weirdo, creep, and a PDF for daring to like Eevee's design from Stellar Blade BloodRayne. Now,
that doesn't shock me at all. I mean, that's the thing. That was one of the things that a lot of different communities were coming after me over the recent days, was the whole oh well, you like Lolly and all that because of Stellar Blade, and it's just like, really? People still play Bob the Builder with guns? Yes. I've never played it.
I want to just say this point blank before going any further. I don't care at all if you like Pomni's design or anything like that. She is a fictional character. I don't care. And also, flat-chested women exist. Women can be short. Women can be flat-chested. They exist. And the fact that there is this, push to assume that they can't be, honestly, is sexist. But I'm getting away from the point. The point is that the same individuals that were calling you a weirdo creeper PDF for even liking Eevee's design last week are now trying to justify and defend Pomni. And they're using, I'm not even joking, the exact same logic that people that tried to defend lolicons and lollies use. Let's just show Rock Solid's post here. So basically, Rock Solid, he made this post that I'm just gonna say, it is probably one of the best posts I've seen, not just in this month, but probably for this year, because it really just shuts down the entire debate around this conversation and showcases...
Oh no, people will still whinge about it because people are still bloody hypocrites, and people will still use this as some, attack vehicle. Yeah. This is why I don't engage with these people anymore. This is why I just block a lot of them. Because you can't reason with stupid. They just drag you down.
Pretty much how hypocritical people are. And so, let's kind of explain this. I want to break this down in the best I can for those that are not terminally online. So basically, we know this is Eevee. This is Eevee from Stellar Blade BloodRayne, and you've seen the drama, you've seen the controversy. People were saying that she was too childlike despite her assets fully on display. And obviously, it doesn't just stop there. We also have characters like Frieren. Frieren, she is someone that has gotten into a lot of controversy and also even defended as well. But controversy because obviously she's short, she's an elf, she's flat, and she's 1,000 years. And that argument that people like to use when they come after fictional content to try to censor it or say it's weird or creepy, they like to say just because a character is 1,000 years old doesn't mean it's okay. And they always exclusively say this about, Japanese characters. Anything from Japan or anything like that, this is their argument. And so basically, you had Pomni, the same logic that people try to defend, let's say, characters like Frieren or Eevee or whatever, that you have the same logic from these people that are antis, now using it to defend Pomni, literally saying, I'm not joking, well, you see, she is actually 25, and she does not act childlike, and she is you know, it keeps going on. They use the exact same playbook in defense. And it's so funny because it is such a mask off moment showcasing just how hypocritical this entire discussion is. And also, it goes back to what I've been talking about for a while. Racism. Like this, you're not going to tell me when you take a hard look at this isn't just pure racism towards the Japanese, but also to just Japanese art style, anime and manga art style in general, or honestly anything when it comes from Asia, Korea as well, because Eevee is from Korea. So it's just like, it's very clear there is a very targeted nature when it comes to designs of different characters and stuff, especially flat-chested women, you know, from Asia. But when it's like in the West, if it's a cartoon, A-okay, completely fine. Like I said, it's just insane to me how this has escalated. It's garnered millions of views at this point. Like, I mean, I've seen posts.
So that's what people meant by the Palmy thing. Does act childlike sometimes. I mean, so does Frieren, right? And remember, Asmongold claimed that Frieren isn't a lolly because she doesn't act like a child. And it's like, well, you know. And this is why the word lolly always ends up getting twisted and it's just like such a murky area. Chibi's right, I find it so funny that these people, because the moment you use their logic against them, they go full mask off on you. Yes, and that's exactly what a lot of these people did with me as well. They do it with Chibi, they do it with me, they try to go after weak links. Right? They always try to go after weak links. Because they don't like, you know, they apply rules for themselves, or they apply rules on others that they themselves will not apply. Right, they'll flip and flop based on however convenient things are for them. And that's the thing, as soon as you flip the logic back on them, they instantly crash out.
With like 10 million views talking about this, another one with 5 million. I've actually seen, I'm not joking, I was on my phone, I saw YouTube Shorts even talking about this situation and just bragging about Pomni's design. So this is definitely escalated. But I think it's so funny to me because it's like, I have seen actual individuals that hate me for defending fictional content, that think I am a weirdo or some form of criminal, defending Pomni's design. Once again, I don't care, okay? If people like Pomni and you wanna make art of her or whatever, I don't care. I don't, okay? I like Pomni's design too. Not even gonna lie about that. I'm just saying it's funny. It's hilarious how you could see the hypocrisy. I will leave it at that, though. I wanted to cover this briefly because I thought this was very fascinating, just really seeing this entire conversation, like...
It's the same song and dance every day. That's the problem. That's why it's just... And the thing is, if you don't call it out, they embolden themselves and believe that they're the right person, and people rally behind it because people are stupid, and they're like... You know, they rally behind a flock without critically thinking.
Escalate and spiral. But you all have a fantastic day or night wherever you live. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.
Not surprised. Not surprised in the least at all. Let's have a look. Anything interesting? Just checking some stuff, but this is the thing about like the whole, like what Chibi pointed out, is like it's rules for thee but not for me kind of situation, and they will never apply the rules equally or fairly. They will always try and put a rule on you that you have to abide by, that they don't have to abide by, and that's the thing that keeps on happening. That's the thing that keeps on happening, right? Like I talk about like the whole relationship thing, right? It's funny when men want some like loyal girl that's not, you know, gallivanting around, and the moment you ask for that, you instantly get hated on. Oh, you're sexist, you're against women, or you're hating. But then women will sit there and ask for the most ridiculous demands out there. Is fan service truly needed in anime? How long is that video? Because depending on if it's a long video, we might save it for the next stream. Okay. His video was 8 days ago. I might save his video for next stream, because I do want to build up some stuff for next stream. It's really repetitive. It is, right? I will probably go over this one next stream. I wouldn't mind going over that, but that was 20 hours ago. I don't like reacting to Monda Sensei's videos as soon as he uploads them, because I don't think that's fair. But I might react to this one next stream, because it's just, yeah. Another thing as well, actually, now thinking about it, one of the things that I'm planning to do, and this is with Tony from Down Under in the comment section, me and him are going to be, I was saying looking at, but we are going to be doing a podcast every Tuesday, and we'll be basically doing it around this time every Tuesday. So technically yesterday, this time, which we'll be going over basically anime stuff. So we'll be talking about, like, this current season, maybe some drama that's going on within the anime community. I'll work out stuff and compile information and stuff. And we can do some React stuff as well, react to the same stuff. I've just got to try and work out how to do that kind of stuff, because I've never done it with a VTuber. And I've never actually... Well, have I collabed? Yeah, I have collabed on the channel, but just... I don't know how to deal with VTuber avatars and all the rest with stuff, so... The first stream also might be a little bit scuffed, but we'll definitely have some fun, have some shenanigans, stuff like that. So it's pretty much going to be a regular schedule kind of thing that we're looking at. That way, at least then I have to be on schedule. But it will be at 12, which is this time yesterday, because I don't get home until at least 10:30. So it at least gives me an hour and a half to eat my food when I get home, have a drink, feed the cat, get undressed, get put into my pajamas, and then get ready and down wine and be ready to do the stream. So that's why we'll do it that way. But yeah. Is Tony real? No, he is not real. He is a figment of my imagination. Well, that's interesting. Might have to look at that afterwards. I'll save that. But yeah, how can mirrors be real if my eyes aren't real? Exactly. Not gonna lie, I thought Chibi and Espiritu were siblings. No, I mean, we live in completely different countries. Though, I do want to go to the US at some point. Chibi looks like Espiritu's younger brother. At least I look older then. At least I look older. I swear to God, chat, you're saying I'm Jewish again. I got it a lot that a lot of people thought that I looked like Chibi's brother or that I was Chibi's relative. It was one of the first things I ever got when I did content creation. I don't think there's really too much we need to go over. It's kind of ironic in itself because there isn't really beyond anything that we kind of went over a bunch of the different stuff. I'll save that video for next stream. We might go over Monda Sensei's video as well next time over I'm loving this anime, smoking behind the supermarket. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've seen a lot of clips. You only look old with the beard. That's why I have the beard. Because then I look older. Is that why you're so rich? What, because I'm old? Or because I'm related to Chibi? He married you. I swear to God, chat. Swear to God. But yeah, I mean, if there's anything important, do you guys know of the 16-year-old cosplay situation? I do not. There's so much drama, it's impossible to keep up with. Every day there is a yeah, and that's the thing, right? So Demi is going nuclear. Is she? What has she said now? She hasn't said anything that I can see. I mean, to be honest, if she just keeps her head down, it will all blow over and then nothing will be... I mean, unless she's saying something on the Discord, on her Discord server. I'm just checking to see if there is anything. It's kind of funny because apparently there was a commission art of her that's a lolly version of her. And I was like, well, that's definitely an interesting thing to do. There's nothing that I can see that's going on that is anything new with the drama itself. Okay. I'll read it. Let's have a look. Here's another announcement. I'm going to be completely honest. If you're a fan, I'm going to assume you're going to be in the Discord. If you're not, too bad. I will be DMCAing content in all platforms of me. Farms engagement using thumbnail. Okay. Terms of service related things, gambling, political ideas that aren't mine, too long didn't read, using things that aren't in the video, or just baiting shit to bait shit with my image. So if you're farming in YouTube, some bullshit thumbnail with me, and some you're getting DC. By the way, her saying that she's going to DMCA people is a break of terms of service. That's just straight breaks of terms of service. She's basically saying, I'm not going to follow fair use. I'm going to now just start striking people that say anything I don't like. That is a straight break of terms of service. That's not her going nuclear. That's her opening herself up to a lawsuit. Because that just breaks terms of service. Like, someone can critique you on the internet and it not break terms of service. And they can show the context. So is she going to strike Rev down? Because that's not going to go well if she strikes Rev down. So be curious. I mean, this literally proved the point that I was saying, that she was trying to strike people down, which is funny because people said that I was making stuff up. I literally said in a tweet that her and her community were planning to strike people down and are striking people down. I got called out by the way, The Don, saying that I was making that up. Now, he's made a tweet defending her saying that. So it's like, okay, so you're now sitting there saying, and I could... Rev and Chibi would obliterate them if it happened. I mean, Chibi would be able to run another bloody charity. But it's like... That's not smart. You're doing the Strawsman effect. You're drawing more attention to it. Right? Because it's like, you will get sued. And YouTube should then step in and say, yeah, no, you're exploiting this. Because there is a bunch of content creators that have covered it. Unless she's looking for something in a more positive light. So if she's striking anything down that is negative, she's going to get into lawsuits. She's breaking terms of service. So she could just get sued. She goes copyright saying she's not coming back. No, she's not. Because people will sue her. Who's the Don? Don is a guy that stalks me, Chibi, a bunch of VTuber girls, and he's been making passive-aggressive tweets for days now at Chibi. He came after me saying that I was making up the whole claims that her community and her are trying to strike people down and flag people, and literally she makes a tweet saying it. So I'm like, really? Really? You're saying I'm making it up, and then literally he's defending it, saying, oh yeah, she's going nuclear, and it's like, yeah, that's not the smartest idea. There's a lot of content on her out there calling her out. That's not going to go her way. She's going to get heavily hit for that. Not a smart move. That is going to backfire. And the fact that people are cheering that on, saying, oh yeah, you're in so much trouble now, she's gonna strike yous all down for this. It's like, yeah, that's breaking terms of service and fair use. You'll just get sued. You will just get sued. It will rally more people behind you. It's not a great plan. It's an exploitation of fair use. Which, by the way, if everything... By the way, she said she doesn't care, so now she's striking people. She claims that everything that's been said is false, but she's striking everything down, trying to hide it. It's like... If you just ignored this for 2 days ago, this would have all blown over. Because her Sims would have not stopped watching her. They would have just moved on. Oh, she's been around for years. She's opening the door for... Yeah, she's going to get absolutely reamed. This is a quartering situation. Which makes it worse, because in the eyes of the public opinion, it doesn't matter what her opinion is now. She's deliberately trying to attack people. This could be another quartering situation where it seems like it's going to die down. She does something like a lot... I mean, I don't think... Yeah, this... If she just stopped talking, it would have blown over. But she keeps bringing it up. It's like she's the one making it worse. If she just stopped talking about it, people would stop talking about it because people would get bored and move on to the next drama. But she keeps bringing it up. So now she's made this whole situation worse for herself because she's dragged it up again. I'm just going to send this to someone. I'm just going to send it to Chibi. It's not a smart move. I'm debating on if I should make a tweet about it or not, but it's like her tweet goes, I mean, I can show Sparky's tweet. Basically, also another announcement, I'm going to be completely honest, and if you're a fan, I'm going to assume you're going to be in the Discord, and if you're not, too bad. I will be DMCAing content in all platforms of me that farms engagement using horn non-safe for work baiting thumbnails, TOS related things, gambling, political ideas that aren't mine. Well, to start with, YouTube doesn't allow porn in thumbnails. Let's be honest here, sweetie. If you understood YouTube, they wouldn't let you do that. YouTube wouldn't let you do that. Second of all, non-safe for work baiting thumbnails. To be honest, I find YouTube still strikes those down. So none of this really works. And political ideas that aren't mine. Again, that's not going to work in your favor. This isn't going to go the way you think. If people criticize you, I feel like she's going to say this and then attack anyone that's not critical of her. Too long didn't read. You're using things that aren't in the video or just baiting shit to bait shit with my image. What? So if you're farming in YouTube some bullshit thumbnail with me and some sexual shit and you're getting DMCA'd soon, I suggest that you take it down before I will. Your channel will be terminated from all the DMCA shit that I'll be sending. You will get sued. And by the way, you know what's going to end up happening? People are going to counter it. She's going to find people's addresses and then she's going to dox them. She's going to try and dox people. That's what I think this is going to turn into. I do not give a F. Go F yourself doing this shit that I wouldn't be personally comfortable with myself. But yet you're going to do even worse stuff. Can't farm money off me and I don't give a shit about the viewers you bring. They're going to be all dog shit anyway. This is not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Why is she making it worse? Why is she making it worse? She's breaking YouTube's terms of service, and if she does it on X, she's doing it the same. If anything, she may lose her accounts on all platforms if she's using it. I mean, yeah, I don't want to get my channel striked, right? And by the way, she's not even on the thumbnail of this stream. I wasn't even really intending to talk about it, but again, she can't keep her mouth shut. But YouTube should see this and absolutely say, yeah, no, this is stupid. So I feel like if she strikes enough channel, it depends on which channel she goes after. I think she's going to go after Rev, probably Chibi, probably maybe Oko. I might be on the list at some point. It depends on how many videos and which thumbnails have them on, right? So and I love, by the way, I love the way she's saying porn and non-safe for work baiting thumbnails after she just complained about some of it anyway. So it's like, you need more alcohol? I need a Coke after this. And I'm cutting back. It's like, Jesus Christ. I believe you when you say her plan is to dox, people. Yeah, I do think that, because I know how the copyright system works. If she strikes me and I counter it, she has 30 days to counter, I believe, if I remember correctly. And then if she counters that and reissues it, I believe if I counter it, she gets my address. She gets my home address. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, so now you're gonna dox me. That's where it's not good. It's clear that she will use it to exploit, to send people. And if she doxes people through that, that's even more of a legality that she's got to deal with. Because if someone attacks someone because of her doxing, she's legally liable. Legal Mindset future content, well, they might strike her too. I might have to send it to Legal Mindset. Could probably DM it to him. This is not smart. And of course, naturally, people are going to defend her and say, yeah, she's going nuclear. You know how many lawsuits she's going to be hit with? Especially if she strikes a bunch of channels. Is she going to pick on little ones? Or is she going to go for the big juggernauts? Because if she goes for the little ones, right, then that's going to draw a lot of attention to them because the big ones are going to cover it. But if she goes for the big ones, then all hell's going to break loose. I'm curious to see which channel she's going to go after. Generally curious. I'm just debating if I should actually make a tweet on this. Like, the legal problems. I mean, I might now. If this... open her up to not only breaking TOS for many platforms, but it also opens her up to legal problems down the line. She I'm just going to run it through Grok to fix my spelling, because I don't want shitty spelling. I mean, oh my god. Like, why? What compels her to go down this path? Let's just have a look at the tweet. I'll just bring it up. Wait, did someone donate? Because someone's saying 6-7. Did someone donate bits? I don't see any bits being donated. Oh, Kurumi's not. Kurumi was here before. That's what I'm looking at typing. Well, that's why I say, if what she's really said on Discord, if this is what she really said, and then yeah, it's like, yeah. But from the sounds of it, everyone else is claiming it's true, even her fans. He hasn't seen it yet. Where is it? I swear to God, I'll do a 6-7 just to spite you. I don't know how to donate bit. Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't even really know how either. Or Jules. So, that's what I'm looking at posting. If this is what she really said on Discord, then this will open her up to not only breaking the terms of service for new platforms, but this also opens her up to legal problems down the line. All she had to do was wait this drama to blow over, but she is so hell-bent on making the drama 10 times worse. Someone get her some help, for God's sake. I just... I love your reply, Sparky. This is why I don't need fake tweets to go after it. Yeah, because she's making a situation worse. I will get you next time. VTuberism is... I mean, so many VTubers are just mentally unstable. Spiritu, can you explain to me, as a Western, how can I support the anime industry and help anime? Buy physical stuff, like figures, merch, DVDs, Blu-rays, books, light novels, mangas, etc. But just make sure you buy the ones that have got good proper translations. I'll be going through this tonight again, but yes, she steps on the rakes for herself. Yeah, she does. I mean, there are good VTubers out there, and they need to be supported. It's just, this is just silly. Apparently, Sparky, apparently that image is from January. Can someone get a timestamp of it? Because aren't all the timestamps covered up? Yeah, they are. All the timestamps are covered up. Why are all the timestamps covered up on the image? I'm just curious. Because something I noticed here, with the tweet, Sparky, is the timestamps are covered. Why are the timestamps covered? Because, yeah, I mean, I posted it and someone did point something out. The timestamps. Apparently this is from January. Because if that's the case, you know what's funny is it's her fans that are showing it. Her fans are the ones that are showing this and saying that she's coming after him. So if that is true, right, then this is breaking terms of service. So I'm just generally curious, because this is the one thing I noticed, is the timestamps have been removed here. Why is the timestamp? And if that's the case, then that means someone is getting a screenshot and deliberately removing the timestamp, which actually works into exactly what I said hours ago, where her own community is taking stuff and trying to spin it, to try and misdirect. See you, Greg. I'm just generally curious about that. I sent the post, like the actual timestamp. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's all covered up on that one as well. Thank you for this $5 super chat. D Runaway. Just need to move that. She just had to do what exactly did, just don't respond. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. But I don't know if this is, like, legitimate. Because what I find interesting is the Don's posting it, as if it's real. And I find that weird because it almost looks like Don's spreading misinformation as well. Some people are saying it's from January. And if it's from January, then that really is a different applicable thing. Because it's not going to look good for people like the Don who are spreading misinformation. I'm just going to see... just gonna see some of the sources on some of the original tweets. Because it looks like even he's spreading misinformation, because if it's made in January, then yeah, that's false. He's spreading misinformation too. VTubers are just e-girls, VTubers are always Donlers are just without verifying if that's who you're talking about. I'm talking about the Don of everything. Like, this dude's been coming after me for a while. It's actually the first time I've actually spoken about on stream, but all the Don trying to throw her under the bus to keep the fire going. It could be, but I think he doesn't even check anything himself, because as soon as I post it, someone pointed out that it apparently is from January. Yeah, I mean, I worded mine correctly. I said, if this is true, right? But I just noticed when I looked at it, I was like, why is the timestamp removed? Like, why would you specifically remove the dates? Because if parts of her community are taking things out of context, then that clearly means someone is trying to stir her up even more. Or they're trying to misdirect. It could be anything. Because I just don't think that's smart. And even though if that tweet is from January, that's not a smart tweet to have, by the way. That's not a smart tweet to have. Honestly, this drama is getting so messy. It is getting so messy and so vicious right now. It's certified shit show, that's for certain. Yeah, it is. It's a certified shit show. Like, it feels like even people in our own community are trying to stir drama. And I don't... That's not helping her, and that's not helping anyone in this situation. It feels like someone's trying to fuel the fire. Someone should go check. Well, I mean, probably her Discord server's locked up. And I'm not going to go. But I would be genuinely curious to see if there is a post there and if it backdates to January. The thing is that if it's in the screenshot, what was what she was accused of in the previous drama. From what I remember, she always had a bit of quartering in her. I mean, it's still a quartering kind of thing to do. It is a quartering thing to do, because even though, let's say that screenshot was in January, that's a really stupid thing to do, because it still breaks terms of service, right? That still breaks terms of service. And if she's saying that she's going to strike anyone that makes non-safe for work of her, but then she's uploading, that just a little bit silly. But on top of that, clearly someone's taking it and trying to spin it. Tactical Templar tried to get Demi and Chibi to do a debate after Chibi made his stance on it. And I swear to God, what is with Tactical Templar and trying to get people to debate? See you, Night. What is with Tactical Templar trying to get people to debate? He is such a... What is the value of a debate of two people debating over a drama that, by the way, she even said herself, she doesn't care about Chibi's cheating situation and all the rest. Like, she doesn't care that she mocked him for it. All she's upset about is being called out for being a hypocrite. The dramas are nothing better and it keeps getting worse. Yeah, I agree. It's stupid. This drama should have died days ago. It should have died when she said a stupid part and people called her out, and then it should have just stopped. Because I do think someone is fueling the fire. YouTube debates are not real debates. No, they're not. And it wouldn't turn into a debate. It would turn into a screaming match. She'd just scream at him. And Chibi's not going to debate. I don't get Tactical Templar's obsession about debates. I feel like it's a low-hanging fruit. It's the same thing with, Asmongold and Chibi, right? And then being like, oh, let's do a debate. It's like, no. That's why I don't like Tactical Templar. He's a vulture. He is a vulture. There's a better way to, like, farm drama than going that low-hanging fruit. He's only doing it to get eyes on him. That's all Tactical Templar cares. I agree. Just ironic because he claims to be a Christian, and yet there's nothing virtuous about him. Like, what content can really come from a debate between beefing streamers? There would be nothing out of it. There'd be no value. One, neither of them are going to agree to it, which he should know. Second of all, it would be a screaming match. It would turn into a screaming match. Because all this drama turned into is she said something, she poorly worded it. He criticized her for the hypocrisy in the poorly worded tweet. She then clarifies, and then people still point out the kind of the double standards of it all. That's when she then crashed out and said, no, I'm not going to apologize for being vicious and personal against him, but yeah, I worded it poorly. And thus people started digging through her tweets to then point out more stupid stuff. Thus she then doubled down and said, oh, well, my boyfriend was streaming at the same time, so people would look that up. The more she kept talking, the more it kept adding fuel. Now it feels like something else is at play here. Just comes across as a guy desperate for attention? Yeah, he does. Tactical Templar is old internet blood sports. You can be old internet blood sports and this kind of stuff. There's no value in a debate. And I get it, but it's just like, yeah. I feel like Tactical is just trying to use it to try and get people to notice him. Because if they're doing a debate, he wants it on his channel. I'll let other people handle this. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'll let other people talk about it because I just think from the looks of it, these are old tweets of hers, old messages, sorry. And it's very clear someone's taking it and twisting it. And at the end of the day, like I said, I want to criticize her for what she has said and done, not things that are lies in itself. And there's clearly people posting misinformation. And all it does is it destroys the conversation being had. And I do think there are bad actors on all sides on this. But it's now no longer become a criticism of her. It's turned into a bloodbath. It has turned into a bloodbath. I feel like people have taken it probably personal to go after her because of how she's acted. But also I've heard that she's been in drama quite regularly. And that people are kind of using this as a vehicle to go after her on. And this is why I said she should have just kept quiet. Even if she crashed out at that time, she just stayed quiet. It would have all blown over. My point with Demi is the hypocrisy and the DMCA abuse, past and whatever might come from now. Yeah, I mean, that if that was in January, it's still a stupid thing to say. But my annoyance is the fact that someone's clearly trying to make it look like it's relevant when it's not. That's why I worded my tweet the way I did, but I'm going to let other people talk about it, and I'm just going to let it blow out. Because, like I said, I'm at the point where this is no longer fun to watch. Like, it's not like it's a shitstorm, right? It's not like it's funny to watch of, oh, look, she's either A, pretending to get railed, or she is getting railed. This is so silly, this is so funny, ha ha ha. It's a silly, dumb drama. This is now getting very vicious and very vitriol from people, and I feel like that's just, yeah, that's going too far. And I do think it is partly her fault because she got so personal and so vitriol to start with, and then she doubled down on it, and now she's got her community getting personal, attacking other people, and Sus is weaponizing and getting the community more riled to go after her. It's clear that she's made it too personal now. And I think that's the biggest problem. She's added so much fuel to the fire and her community's making it worse. And I think, honestly, manager JoJo's made it 10 times worse now. Because of the fact that he's misused the wrong VODs, people are now more irritated at the misinformation. And so now people are more motivated to dig deeper. This is why they're going through the Discord server and they're sifting through anything she can say. That's what it feels like. They're grabbing anything they can find that she said and twisting it as a vehicle to push more drama. And this is why she should have just, yeah, said her piece and then moved on days ago. At this point, we need that memory erasing gun from men. Kind of, yeah. Like, erase everyone's memory of this event and just bloody move on. I don't know. It is stupid. Seriously, all she had to do was just shut up. And yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Pretty much. She could have walked away and let Chibi have his words. Yeah. I think that would have been the best way to go about it, in my opinion. But yeah, I think I'll probably stop stream here. I think I've had enough rambling for the time being. I think things are just silly. I generally actually just hope the drama blows over. Because I think at this point, it's just so stupid now. But I have a feeling people are going to try and fuel it more. But yeah, much appreciate all the donations. Much appreciate everyone hanging out. I know this was a little bit more of a different stream than normal. We'll work some stuff out for the next one, go over some other stuff. There hasn't been as much anime drama going on, dumb takes and stuff, so... But yeah, again, much appreciated, and